his way back into saying something stupid, doesn't he?
Talk Sport.
Good afternoon with your sports headlines. I'm Hugo Chambray. Chelsea have opened talks to sign Danny Welbeck, and he's keen on the move. His current deal at Brighton runs until next March. He scored 13 league goals for them last season, but Sean Dyche reckons it's his experience Xabi Alonso is looking for.
Depth of professional knowledge that some older players can give, but not only give us the way they go about it, the way they rub off on others. I would suggest that's what they're looking at in this case. I don't know, but that would be what I would be considered good management thinking. I would consider.
While it's understood Real Madrid will hold further talks with Vinicius Junior's representatives about his future this week. talkSPORT understands Arsenal do have the finances to make Vinny Junior their highest paid player. Mickey Gray says his contract would take several weeks to iron out, but his signing would be a huge positive.
I think it's great for Arsenal. I think it's great for the Premier League. You wouldn't mind watching them every single week, would you?
Yeah.
And it's nice that we're actually a part of this conversation. When I say we, I mean the Premier League. We're actually a part of this conversation.
Elsewhere, Gianni Infantino's hit out at World Cup critics, writing football rises above hate. He reckons people should meditate or pray instead of spreading what he calls false rumours. talkSPORT's Alex Crook admitted it was a good tournament all in all.
As much as we praised the World Cup, the football was brilliant. Obviously, the final was a major disappointment in the end. But you have to give balance. You know, we can say we had a great time over there, but we can also point out some of the pitfalls and some of the mistakes that FIFA made.
Elsewhere, Andrea Pirlo has revealed he's no longer in contention to become Italy's head coach following criticism of his links with a Russian betting company. And England's Luke Whitehouse has won gymnastics gold at the Commonwealth Games. Adam Ramsey-Peaty will look for redemption in the 50-metre breaststroke final later. There's live coverage of the games from 7 p.m. tonight right here on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT News.
A funeral director has apologised to families of his victims, and huge wildfires are continuing to tear across France, with tourists warned to stay away from Bordeaux. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The big summer sale is now on, with great deals on a wide range of tyres. Visit quickfit.com and book today. Conditions apply.
Dry with sunny spells in the south. Northern areas will see a few showers initially, then rain spreading east later.
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Oladipo alongside Mr. Rory, Jennings, and by Jingo, do we have a good show for you today. We're going to be asking whether you'd actually want Vinicius Junior at your club or not, as Arsenal are looking for the funds to buy him. They've got the funds to buy him. Chelsea have pulled off the signing of the summer. It's not Morgan Rogers. They're going to try and steal Villa's set-piece coach, Austin McPhee. What do you make of it? Dan Bardell, massive Villa fan, is going to join us. He's not very happy. We'll tell you what FIFA President Gianni Infantino has been trying to say about the World Cup. I say trying because he's got it all wrong. And Christian Prenger's manager, Keith Sullivan, is going to join us after his fighter gave AJ a big scare on Saturday. And he's going to obviously shut down all these conspiracy theories that are going around as well. All that plus Rory is going to give us his top 5 British sports stars right now. And we're going to build up to an evening of Commonwealth Games action as well. Mr. Jennings, it's been a while, sir. It's been a while.
Mate, it's been far too long.
It has been. They've kept us apart for some reason.
Well, no, they haven't. You have. You've been swanning about America at the World Cup.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with anyone else.
To be fair, you are correct. I have been swanning around America. I was working, though. I mean, you make it sound like I was just doing, I don't know, pizza competitions.
But you made your decision. You decided that the World Cup held more for you than perhaps I did.
It did.
Which I think is fair enough.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, did you have a good time?
You were at Mexico, didn't you, though?
I went to the game in
See
Mexico.
you go to Mexico, by the way.
I think you have to. I think it was one of those where, look, England played in the Azteca. It's the first time we played in the Azteca since 1986.
Was there any pushback from the missus? Like, when you just said so, obviously you would have told her, look, Vic, I'm going. I'm out of here. Was there anything like...
She kind of knows what she married. She kind of knows. There's certain things that she knows that I'm going to be, like, totally wooed by. And England playing in that stadium, in that context, you think of the history of the World Cup.
Phenomenal.
You're Carlos Alberto, Diego Maradona. You think of everything that's happened in that stadium. Pele lifting a World Cup there. It's the kind of stadium that you have to go. England played there. I was in a position where I could. So, yeah, it was amazing.
It's the only game. Like, I was lucky enough. I think I did like 20 games. And gutted I missed that one.
Yeah, of course.
But I would have done that one rather than the final.
It's probably the best England game I've ever been to, and top 3 games I've ever been to in my life. Like, I will always prioritise when we won the league at the Reebok, for example, when Lampard took the ball round Jääskeläinen, that will always be there for me. The 1997 FA Cup final, when we ended our 25-year drought for silverware. Ollie Watkins in Dortmund was up there.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins in Dortmund, massively up there. Didier Drogba in Munich, massively up there. But then it's Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham in the Azteca.
It's incredible.
It's unbelievable.
You know, I was gutted I wasn't here because I really wanted to have the conversation with you about... You see the Morgan Rogers, Jude Bellingham talk, and look, it's probably been done to death now, but prior to the tournament starting.
Yeah.
And there was a few on here.
But it's too cool. Don't worry about people on here.
A few on here was saying Rogers over Jude. I mean, there was one journalist whose name I won't mention was like, oh, leave Jude at home.
Yeah. But it's all very well.
I've atted him so much, by the way, on Twitter and Instagram.
Why? Why are you trolling people? How old are you? 15?
I turned into a 15-year-old after that tournament.
The thing is, it's all very well talking about the journalists, talking about the YouTubers, talking about the pundits or the writers or whoever that were saying maybe Morgan Rogers over Jude Bellingham. That's all fine. But the reason they were saying that is because Thomas Tuchel gave that theory oxygen. Thomas Tuchel was leaving Jude Bellingham out of squads, leaving him out of starting lineups, suggesting that Jude Bellingham was repulsive, according to Thomas Tuchel's mother. So as much as, yeah, you're right to flag maybe the YouTubers, maybe the pundits, maybe the writers. But Thomas Tuchel, the buck stops with him. He allowed there to be a conversation rather than coming out and going, I'm going to build a team around Jude Bellingham, the brilliance of Bellingham. He didn't do that.
Yeah, we could talk about Jude all day long, by the way. I did a poll on my Instagram, Jude or Gerrard. As a Liverpool fan, the results kind of hurt me a little bit. All right, talkSPORT understands that Arsenal have the funds to sign Vinicius Jr. So it's simple. Arsenal fans, is he worth the risk?
Right-footed shot, what a goal! Oh, what a hit from Vinicius Jr.
The ego of him, but Vinny Jr., I mean, he got took off earlier on in the season, walked straight into the tunnel. I don't think his head's been turned. I think his ego's that big that he's another one that thinks he should play every game when he's not performing.
Guns missed it, headed in, Vinicius Jr. for 2.
Oh, mate. Loved them. Absolutely loved them. I could not take my eyes off that battle.
But how dynamic is he, Vinicius Jr.? Just this turbo energy that he seems to have and close control. Terrific talent.
Bellingham rolling it in. Vinicius to win it for Real Madrid. It's 2-0.
Vinicius Jr. is another level.
Interesting little package, that. Gabby at the top of that saying the ego on him. Some players can have an ego. Some players deserve to have an ego, and I think Vinicius Jr. falls into the bracket of those players that can and should be allowed to have an ego. talkSPORT understands that Arsenal have the finances in place to make Vinicius Jr. their highest paid player. Currently, that highest paid player is Bukayo Saka, who's on £300,000 a week. Vinicius would want around £470,000 to £500,000 a week. Arsenal have added him as part of their targets this summer. I guess it will be the main target this summer. Our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, joined the Breakfast Show this morning and had this as the latest.
Well, if this deal is going to happen, I think it is a big if at this moment in time, because we know that Jose Mourinho is pushing to keep him. Ideally, Real Madrid, I think, would still like to extend his contract. But if that doesn't happen, then they put themselves in a dubious position. What we do know is that Arsenal are willing to break the bank in terms of wages. He would be the highest paid player in their history. We go above the 300-odd grand a week they're paying Bukayo Saka. And as a Premier League fan, as much as I don't want Arsenal to get him, I'd be excited about this. I think he's a terrific player, Vinicius Jr. Maybe didn't see the best of him at the World Cup, but him in full flight down the wing, I think would be great in the Premier League. And I think it shows where Arsenal's ambitions are at, that they feel they can get this deal done. Obviously, they missed out on Morgan Rogers. They got gazumped there by Chelsea. But I think if you ask a lot of Arsenal fans, would you take Rogers or would you take Vinicius Jr.? I think they go for the latter.
Chief football correspondent Alex Crook talking to the boys on Breakfast this morning. He's right, though, isn't he? Like, just put your neutral hat on, right? Remove the fact that I'm Liverpool and you're Chelsea. Just to have one of the best players in the world come to the Premier League when we're so used to losing the best players in the world to La Liga is massive for the Premier League.
It'd be massive, absolutely massive for the Premier League. I totally agree with you. But I think it's you have to look at it through the lens of Arsenal. You have to look at what this means for Arsenal. They're behaving exactly as they should. When you are champions, you come with being champions of England comes with the power. It comes with the opportunity, and they're making the most of it. I think this probably, if this happens, Vinicius Junior landing at Arsenal. Arsenal were already Premier League champions. They were Champions League finalists. They were Champions League semi-finalists last year. You think about the momentum of Arsenal. If he lands at Arsenal and is the missing piece to them winning a European Cup, it immediately becomes money well spent. It probably goes down, what? Off the top of my head here, biggest signing in Premier League history?
Yeah.
When you think about what rivals it, I think you could argue maybe. Do you remember when Pogba went to Manchester United and it was Pog back, Pog back,
that was
and all
big.
that? Stormzy playing a piano on
that was big, but because we'd already had him in the Premier League, it was big. Don't get me wrong, because he went to Juventus and turned into a monster. You're correct, and then came back and it was like, okay, this is a completely different Pogba. He looked almost like a foot taller, a foot wider. He looked.
Also, he'd won 3 leagues in a row, hadn't he, with Antonio Conte? Like he'd been an integral part of 3 Scudettos.
As good as Paul Pogba was back then, he was never like Ballon d'Or conversation, Paul Pogba. No one ever said Paul Pogba was the best player in the world.
No.
Whereas 3 years ago, Vinicius Junior maybe was.
Yeah, he was probably robbed of a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
I mean, Shevchenko to Chelsea was huge.
Yeah.
It didn't live up to expectation and billing, of course not, but it felt massive at the time. So no, this is definitely up there as one of the biggest transfers that has ever happened in Premier League history.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest transfers that's ever happened in football history, in fact, in this country.
How much is he worth? He's got a year left on his contract. He's 26. He's in the peak of his powers. Crookie say he didn't have the greatest World Cup. I was there for most of his games. He still scored 3 goals and was their best player. But what's that worth to Real Madrid or to Arsenal?
I don't think you can get him. I don't think you could bid for less than 100 million when you think about what 100 million. Yeah, it's a year left, but you're not going to get him if you don't bid that kind of money. Ultimately, Real Madrid will try and woo him, try and make him stay, try and make him sign a new deal. I know that doesn't look possible, but Jose Mourinho has come out and said that he wants him to stay. So you're going to have to do something to allow Florentino Perez to present this as a victory. The only way that he can present it as a victory...
I think Mourinho and Real Madrid are doing that almost to make sure that they get the 100 million. The fact is they're basically on the cusp of signing Diomande, who they want on that left-hand side. So as much as they're saying this, their actions are almost showing something completely different.
It's a game. What they can't do is say that he's surplus to requirements because his value dips. They need to say that Jose Mourinho wants him, they want to build a team around him, he's integral to their front line. Because then what will happen is the money will be big, and then Perez can present it to the Real Madrid faithful as a victory.
You know, the thing about Arsenal the last couple of seasons that I've seen, a bit like what Gareth Southgate did with the England team, there seems to be a lot of harmony in that group. Everyone seems to get on, right? There seems to be no egos. Every single player seems to be just respecting about what they offer to the club. Does Vinicius rock that boat?
Oh, who cares?
It breaks it up then, doesn't it?
No, but what we're doing...
One bad apple in the group could cause a problem. I'm not saying Vinicius is that, by the way. I'm just saying it can happen.
No, but what we're doing, though, we're being really pedantic about what this signing would mean. Could it upset the rhythm? I mean, possibly, but so could any signing. You know, when you think about the players that they've been linked with over the years to elevate that position, like Bukayo Saka, they're very happy with. Arsenal fans will tell you that he's world-class, or at least borderline world-class. When he's on form, I think that's fairly true.
Yeah.
I think through the middle, they have a problem. I don't think Gyökeres has solved the problem that he is there to fix, but they won the league with him, so it's fine. This problem, this side, has been a massive, massive thorn for their manager. And you think about the players that they've been linked with and that they haven't got, Morgan Rogers being the latest. But I remember when we nicked Mykhailo Mudryk from them. It felt like we'd got one up on them. In fact, I remember when we nicked Pedro Neto. They were linked with Rafinha. They've had so many options to sign players in that position that they haven't got over the line. If they now go and sign Vinicius Junior, who's won 2 Champions League, he's in the peak of his powers, he's 26 years old. You could easily argue that his best football will still be played.
And as you say, 2 Champions Leagues, and obviously that's the hurdle Arsenal not been able to get over. When you sign winners, to add to already now a winning squad, I think this is a...
Well, he's undeniably world-class.
Statement from Arsenal.
You know, this conversation about world-class, it can often be trying. People put in different parameters, they try and argue, they try and find different ways of defining the term. there is no way of not defining Vinicius Junior as world class. Like, however,
top 5 in the world.
Top 5 footballers in the world, top 2 in his position. The only player that's potentially better than him in his position
Kvaratskhelia.
is Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, like, and that's arguable, by the way. I think I'd probably.
No, you're right. It's close. I mean, 1A, 1B, isn't it?
I think Kvaratskhelia has had a better 18 months, but Vinicius Junior's had a better 6 years.
Yeah.
So look, I think for Arsenal, it would be such a statement as well.
It's massive.
Such a statement.
I think it's honestly, it's a big problem for the Premier League. Look, Arsenal are a big problem next season, regardless. Yeah. Even they start with Martinelli on the left, if they get Vinicius Junior,
yeah,
mate, then I think
it's exactly what they should be doing. If you're an Arsenal fan, though, you know, I think they were feeling that the transfer window was fairly underwhelming so far. This is how you behave when you're champions.
No. Yeah, I mean, me and you had this conversation exactly the same time last season when Liverpool won the league. You strengthen them from a position of strength, and Liverpool went and got Wirtz and Isak, and I know there'll be some.
It's
that
how you retain the league.
Work out. It's how you
retain the league. And Arsenal have never retained a Premier League title. Like, great history. I'm not saying
they'll be massive favourites,
but they've never retained a Premier League title, and they're never going to have a better opportunity to do it. And Vinicius Junior coming in, all of a sudden, imagine what that does to the front line. Imagine the player that Bukayo Saka becomes because opposition managers can't double up on him because Vinicius Junior's over the other side. It will be. Yeah, it's intimidating. Very intimidating.
Very, very
Fingers
scary.
crossed it doesn't happen.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fingers crossed, toes crossed, absolutely everything. Arsenal fans, you must be excited about this, or are you? Obviously, look, Vinicius Junior, for his fault or not, does come with a baggage. I think we've seen this over the last couple of years. He still delivers the goods, but a baggage nonetheless. Do you want him at your club? And if so, how excited are you? Give us a call, 03717 22 3344. Vinicius Junior to Arsenal could be incoming.
I don't know if you've seen Simon Jordan's tweets. We know Simon Jordan loves his boxing. He's very knowledgeable on boxing as well. But he wrote a tweet after the fight. A lot of people agreed with him as well. He said, "I'm not having that. Drop twice, sets the tempo. How's that? Playing a totally different second round. Something not quite right. All designed to rinse maximum amount of money." Firstly, were you aware of that tweet?
Yes, I was, mate. I spoke to Simon about it after, actually.
Okay, well, what did he say? What did you say? How did that conversation pan out?
Well, so the conversation went like he said, like I said live on the live comms, the way that, so if you know as a fighter, it's instinctive. He had Anthony Joshua hurt after 20 seconds. Joshua barely got through the round. He survived. He walked back to the corner on his heels. He walked out for the second round, you know, with the legs still very wary as well, very dodgy as well. And as a fighter, Christian Prenga then instinctively should jump on him and know the history of Anthony Joshua and how it takes him a while to recover and jump on him and say, right, this is my big opportunity. This is my ticket into the big time. No one knows who I am, but everyone's going to know it's going to be one of the biggest shocks in heavy shocks.
Good afternoon, Andy Oladipo alongside Rory Jennings on Drive with you until 7 o'clock. We're going to speak to a man in demand a bit later, Mr. Keith Sullivan, the manager. If you don't know me now, you do. The manager of one Christian Prenga, who obviously caused the biggest shock, or nearly caused the biggest shock on Saturday in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. He's man putting AJ on his backside a couple of times. He's going to join us. Loads of conspiracy theories running wild. He's going to shut them down and talk what next for his charge. And we are going to talk a bit of Commonwealth Games. John Cushion's going to join us as well. I love anything like that. Olympics, European, Commonwealth Games, love all of that stuff.
Completely agree.
Yeah, it's in Scotland at the moment, and we'll give you an update as to what's going on. All right, well, we're going to jump on the phone lines. Give us a call, 03717 22 344. We're speaking to Arsenal fans who must be buzzing going into the season. I mean, you won the league. I mean, yes, Saliba's injured. He'll be okay. Declan Rice looks knackered, needs a new battery charge. But you're linked with Vinicius Jr., one of the best players in the world. And this link isn't a quiet one. It's loud. It could happen. Let's go to the phone lines and speak to Darren, the Arsenal fan. Darren, excited about Vinicius Jr.? Is he the type of player you want at the club, or do you have your eyes on someone else?
Hello, guys. Personally, I like Vinny Jr. is a good player. There's no doubt about it. But I'd rather have Barcola, to be honest.
Really?
Why?
Because I just think Barcola's ceiling's a lot higher. Like, if you look at what he did with France in the World Cup when he come on, he was changing games. And
Darren, you know when you say ceiling's higher, Vinicius Jr. really and truly should have won the Ballon d'Or. So, I mean, how high does that you can't get a higher ceiling than that, can you then, really? I mean, Vinicius Jr. at one stage was the best player in world football. It was, fact.
Yeah, 100%, yeah, Vinny Jr. But I think, again, with regards to what you guys were saying earlier on, with his attitude, I think it could potentially have a serious effect on the team. And I think Barcola coming in, he's still young as well. I think he'd be a better addition in the long run.
Darren, can I ask you about the attitude? So you're saying Vinicius Jr.'s got an attitude problem. Why? What have you seen? What have you heard? What has Vinicius Jr. done? Like, everything that I've seen Vinicius Jr. do, I feel like a lot of it is completely warranted and justified.
I think a lot of it is his work rate. So, like, if you look at the teams he plays with, like, obviously he normally plays on the left wing. He doesn't tend to track back as much. And I think when you're playing the sort of formation that we play, the wingers tracking back is quite important for us, because obviously you need to have that sort of block in front, obviously, when you've got the players attacking down the wings.
So what, you think Barcola will be he'll track back better than Vinicius Jr.?
He does, from watching the games at PSG in the Champions League, he does seem to actually track back a lot better than Vinny does.
You know, Darren, sometimes I think we overcomplicate football. Sometimes I think it's try your best to get as many of the best players on the pitch at the same time and see what the opposition can do to stop you. And I think Vinny Jr., me and Rory were talking about this, I think that Rory will say top 5. I think he's the top 10 player in the world. That's a fact, though. He's top 10. And in his position, it's either him or Kvaratskhelia as the number 1 in the world. And that's the case for the last 5 years. Surely you just want the best players in the world at your club.
Oh, 100%. But we've seen it in instances where you get all the best players together and they don't necessarily play like they do. And, like, look at Real Madrid, for example. Like, you look at the team they've got and they should have done a lot better than they did in the Champions League and the La Liga this year. Granted, Barcelona seemed to come out of nowhere this year. But, yeah, I just think if you try and put too many superstars together, it sometimes don't gel as well.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Great call, Darren. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I accept most of what he's saying, apart from the attitude thing. I think people now start running with that. When I agree with what you said, Rory, I feel like everything he's done to show a bit of attitude, anyone would. Imagine what people would have said about Eric Cantona 25 years ago.
Yeah, also the ego thing. I think when you are a special footballer that has achieved what he's achieved, I think you're allowed to have a little bit of that. I think you need an edge. It would be like moaning that Wayne Rooney was angry. Yeah, he was a good angry footballer. Like, that's.
But no one at Arsenal has an ego. When you think of the Arsenal squad in your head, there isn't anyone really that you could say, point at them and say ego.
No.
They all just seem to kind of...
That's because they've only just won the league. Ego generally comes with success.
It's very true.
Well, they've been successful for 5 minutes.
All right, let's go to phone lines again. Sam, the Arsenal fan. Sam, would you be happy to welcome Vinicius Jr. into the squad?
Mate, I'll be beyond happy. I'll be dancing around the street naked, mate. That's how happy I'll be.
Don't do that.
I think Rory, he's one of the best footballers in the world. And I've seen your videos about talking about the culture fit at Arsenal. Arsenal's the culture club in London. There's no better player that fits the Arsenal culture than Vinicius Jr. He's a wide name star. You know, he's got the name, he's got the global recognition, and, you know, he's come sort of an outcast at Real Madrid now, and I think Arsenal is the perfect situation for him. You know, I think given what we have in the left wing market, the other guy saying Barcola is a better option. I don't really see it with Barcola. You know, I don't think he's like a top 5 player in the world. Well, Vinicius Jr., you can make the case that he's a top 5 player in the world. And, you know, given the money that we spent in the past couple of years on left wingers that haven't really been good, we have to make an investment like this. And also, you know, with Premier League champions, you know, it's obviously very easy to say, oh, we're champions. You don't really assign players, and, you know, we don't have to improve. But this is a real statement of intent from the board.
Yeah. Sam, I agree with you. I agree with every word you said. He's 26 years old. He's won the Ballon. He's won the Champions League twice. He's had 5 consecutive seasons where he's scored 20 or more goals. In my opinion, he is top 5 players in the world. It's almost semantics to argue it. I think he's top 5. Addy thinks top 10. It's almost irrelevant because we both agree that he's top 2 in his position behind Kvaratskhelia, arguably. I just think it would be a tap-in of a signing. If Arsenal are in a position where they can afford it, Vinicius Jr. wants to come, and the clubs can agree it would be lunacy to talk about Barcola or anyone else. You get Vinicius Jr. if you can get Vinicius Jr.
But also, Rory, with the thing, I was reading about Real Madrid regarding image rights. You know, I think Real Madrid players, they can't own all the image rights. So Vinicius Jr., he owns 30% of his image rights in Real Madrid. If he comes here to Arsenal, I don't think wages will be an issue because he'll get the full image rights. You know, he's sponsored by, I think, Spec Nation now, which I think is Jay-Z's agency. So, you know, money wouldn't be an issue. And also, I don't think we can lose out on Bruno Guimaraes. I think that's sort of gone on the radar past couple of days since the Vinicius Jr. news. Adding Bruno Guimaraes and Vinicius Jr., I'll say those are our 2 biggest problems because going against PSG, you know, our midfielders were a bit jaded in the back end of last season. Adding Bruno Guimaraes leaves Declan Rice, you know, you can sort of leave Declan Rice out there until September, October to come in. That makes everything so much easier. And I'll say this, I'll say the league will be wrapped up by December if we get those 2 deals.
Steady. Sam, what is priority number 1 though? Very quickly, I think Liverpool messed up last season when they put all the efforts into the front forward line and missed out on Guehi, which probably was priority number 1. In terms of the major fix, is it really the left-hand side? Like, can't Martinelli do a job? And shouldn't all the focus from your club be on getting Bruno Guimaraes in that midfield?
Nah, you know what it is? The past couple of years, the left wing has been a biggest issue, even since the 23-24 season, where on 2023, when Martinelli scored 15 goals that season. He hasn't really hit those heights since. And, you know, Trossard, he's gone now. And Solis, he's an unproven commodity in the Premier League. So the left wing is our biggest issue. If you look at our attack has been poor the past couple of seasons. I don't think we've cracked 72 goals in the league the last 2 seasons. And the 2 seasons before that, we scored 88 goals and 91 goals in the Premier League season. And signing Vinicius Jr., you can hit those numbers again. Because everyone's been saying about Arsenal the past couple of years. We've been winning games 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. We haven't got that magic and attack that can just get a goal out of nowhere. But this is, you know, he brings that in bucket loads.
All right, Sam. I can't stand his arrogance. To be honest with you.
I know. That's a great call.
Yeah, he's bang on. He's so confident, though, isn't he? He's right, and that's what annoys me.
Do you know what he said there? Do you know when he was talking about Vinicius Jr. and then Bruno Guimaraes?
Yeah.
It's the 2 stars of the Brazil national team of a World Cup year.
Yeah.
The two stalwarts of that Brazil national side.
Didn't help them much, did it?
No, they didn't have a good World Cup, but the 2 superstars of that Brazilian team are Guimaraes and Vinicius Jr.
Yeah. And if you're Guimaraes as well and you've seen Tonali go, you probably think I'm out of it.
Oh, no,
well.
yeah,
you probably think I'm out of it as well. Yeah, I'm out of it.
I think what happens is as well, they're the champions. I think you have to extend a courtesy to them as champions. When you are the champions, you can make these moves, you can make these manoeuvres. And suddenly, Arsenal knocking at your door, asking questions, they're going to be answered because you are the champions. And you've also got to acknowledge Champions League finalists.
Frightening, isn't it? All right, listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Addy Oladipo alongside Rory Jennings in partnership with Giacomo Style and Brands for every man. Still to come, we are going to be joined by Christian Prenger's manager, Keith Sullivan. He's going to join us. Can't wait to hear what he has to say. But first, it's time for no Googling. All right, here we go. Neymar and Vinicius Jr. are the top 2 scoring Brazilians in Champions League history. Neymar's got 43 goals. Vinicius Jr. has 34. We want to know Who is third on that list? That's a tough question. I'll say it again very quickly. Neymar and Vinicius Jr. are the top 2 scoring Brazilians in Champions League history. Who is number 3? Answer when we come back.
Good morning, lads. Yes, very, very good. About Joshua.
Go on, mate.
The final weekend, I didn't even bother to watch it. It's farce, isn't it? And as for him and Fury, I tell you, if they was fighting in my back garden, I'd draw the curtains.
Oh, wow.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, you're better than that.
Are you telling me you wouldn't even have a peek through those curtains? Just a little look?
You draw the curtains.
I'd say it was them 2 idiots out there and close them tight. I can't be doing with it. Anthony Joshua, he's done what he's done, but let's face it, he's no world beater, is he? He went down like a pot of jelly against that little fat Mexican. And, you know, whenever he steps up, he won the title against the worst champion ever in Charles Martin. Now, come on, you know, he fought an aging Klitschko, right? Whenever he steps up, he gets knocked out by Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois gets scored. I went to see Joshua against the champion, you know, what's his name, Usyk, at White Hart Lane. And Usyk absolutely schooled him. And, you know, we're looking at 2 fights.
Yeah, but Usyk does that with everyone now. Usyk is the best of this generation. He does that with everybody. Yeah. Anthony Joshua's been in the...
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Oladipo alongside Mr. Rory Jennings, just gone 4:30 with you until 7 o'clock. A few moments ago, we brought you the first no Googling of the afternoon, it was this one. Neymar and Vinicius Jr. are the top 2 scoring Brazilians in Champions League history. Neymar got 43 goals, Vinicius Jr. 34. We wanted to know who is third on that list. And the answer is?
The answer is Kaká.
The answer is Kaká, 30 goals, Ballon d'Or winner. Almost forgotten. You know, we talk about the greatest Brazilians of this kind of generation, the last 20 years. You rarely hear people talk about Kaká for some reason.
He was amazing.
Oh, incredible.
That goal at Old Trafford. It's one of the best goals ever.
Frightening.
It's absolutely brilliant. He was unplayable. That 3-year period, he was just unplayable.
Yeah, it's a shame. Obviously, he went to Real Madrid at the same time as Benzema and Ronaldo and almost just got outshined and got injured, and that was it.
The injury issues, wasn't it? But no, wonderful player on his day, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, still to come, we are going to be discussing Chelsea stealing Aston Villa's set-piece coach. Dan Bardell is going to join us to talk about that. A weird transfer, if you ask me. But now let's turn our attention to a bit of boxing, because Anthony Joshua got the job done in dramatic fashion on Saturday night, and it was live right here on talkSPORT.
There is nowhere left to hide. One man is looking to reinforce his place amongst heavyweight boxing elite. The other is chasing the defining victory of his career.
Let's talk sport, baby. Let's talk sport.
Oh, my word. Joshua's gone down. First punch of the fight. The Prenger's landed, and Joshua's gone down, and he's taking account. What on earth was that?
And the legs just seem to go a little bit there again from Anthony Joshua.
Another right hand, and he's going to go again here, Joshua.
Listen, he must be a devastating puncher because he's just tapped the jaw a couple of times, and AJ's feeling that. There you go, big right hand, and Prenger's in trouble.
And he's gone down. Right hand puts Prenger down, and Joshua smiles as much as to say it was always going to happen, and it's all over in the second round.
I can't be stopped. I'm not going to be stopped. I'm not going to be denied.
Yo, yeah, that over.
Interesting final words there from Anthony Joshua. I was there in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for that one. AJ knocked down twice before stopping Christian Prenga in the second round to hopefully, and I stress the hopefully part, set up a fight with Tyson Fury later this year. Loads of talks about where that fight's going to take place, but the fight is still on because Tyson Fury got his job done against Maris Vak in Thailand. We've not seen it yet because it's hidden behind a Netflix doc, I think, that's going to come out later on this year. And AJ, we all saw that climbing off the canvas to be Christian Prenga twice. I'm always sort of, look, you're a boxing fan, very much a casual boxing fan. How did you view what happened over the weekend?
I think it's a very weird weekend of boxing. And actually, look, from the outside looking in, it feels like what we might have seen this weekend was the proof that the Joshua Tyson story, the Joshua Tyson Fury fight that we've been dreaming of, it had to happen, 5 years ago, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Is it too late?
What's your level of interest in that fight? Like if peak is 10 and 0.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
If it happened, just 10, still very...
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if it's going to be one of those stories where we know that the fight just comes too late. You know, we got Hatton Pacquiao, didn't we? But we got it too late. We got Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah, Mayweather Pacquiao.
Sorry, we got it too late. I just wonder if it's going to be one of those where even if it comes now, it's going to be slightly underwhelming and slightly uninspiring. But if it does happen, I'll be hooked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've said, and I was talking to Eddie about this throughout the week. If it does happen, I mean, it's a fight that still can sell Wembley 4 times over. There'll be that much interest in it. I just wonder if it's been sort of hampered a little bit, indented by obviously that first round that AJ had, and by from the highlights only how lackluster Tyson Fury looked against Maris Vak. For me, there was a time when if they were to fight, arguably they were number 1 and number 2 in the division. So their fight was to determine who is the number 1 heavyweight in the world.
Yeah.
It isn't that anymore.
No, that whole thing, that Battle of Britain as it would have been billed, it would have been an amazing story. And look, if it happens, I think people will still be hooked. I think it will still grip the nation. But I just wonder if we even need it now.
Are you aware of the fact that it might not happen in the UK? Like, has that caught your... Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it has to. I think I actually heard Tony Bellew talking really animated and really passionately about this. And he's completely correct. He is completely correct. That fight should be here. It would be one of the greatest nights in British boxing history. It would be a spectacular evening. We have the crowds for it. We have the interest for it. We have the stadiums for it. I don't know why. I mean, what are the alternatives? Madison Square Garden and
that's kind of the talk, Madison Square Garden, mainly because it's going to be on Netflix, and Netflix's audience in America compared to the UK is just, I mean, that's 100 times bigger.
Yeah.
So they want to get that audience, which UK won't have. And then there's also an issue, if you do it at Wembley Stadium, can you do it to an American audience, thus the fight be at like 3 a.m. in Wembley? Wembley so far won't allow that to happen.
I don't think that should... Look, I understand that there are considerations here far greater than I will be able to process. But I don't think that we should be tailoring a night of British boxing, a spectacular night of British boxing, to an American audience.
Agreed.
Like, we should be... They're two British fighters. Yeah. The crowd will be British.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more with you.
It will be a historic night of British boxing. If it's happening in Wembley Stadium, then heaven forbid, the American crowd will have to wake up slightly early, just like we had to do for the World Cup.
Yeah, just like we've had to do for all the big fights in America.
Exactly.
Stayed up till 5 a.m. It nearly didn't happen. We're having this conversation because AJ got off the canvas, right? He was very close to not getting off the canvas. Christian Prenga put in the very spirited first round. Let's speak to the man who always promised that Christian Prenga was going to be very, very dangerous. He said this to me a couple of months ago, and he was very right. That man is Prenga's manager, Keith Sullivan, who's been kind enough to join us now. Keith, you gave, I don't know, a few million Brits a big fright on Saturday night, as you said you would.
Absolutely. I said from the beginning when I signed this contract 3 months ago, we were going to shock the world. And indeed, we did shock the world because we showed Christian Prenga has strength and power and boxing talent far beyond what anybody anticipated. But we didn't get the outcome that we had hoped for, and that's unfortunate. You don't know how much it pains me to sit here listening to you guys talking about Fury AJ. It's breaking my soul here today.
There's been so many conspiracy theorists that have gone crazy since Christian Prenga hit the canvas. I mean, people have gone mad. Our own Simon Jordan took to Twitter and said a few things. Paulie Malignaggi was on with Adam Catchall a couple of days ago saying some stuff as well. Can we just clear up all the conspiracy theorists that say Christian Prenga was almost sent out in the second round not to throw hands, not to try and win the fight?
We can clear those up very easily in one word. Never, impossible. First of all, there was two conspiracies. One was that Turkey had come over to our corner. You were there a day. Turkey was not even in Jeddah. So that never happened. So that's garbage. Throw it away. The other conspiracy was that somebody from Cell or a Matchroom had come and whispered in a corner, look at the footage. That never happened. I'll tell you what happened. And this is the first time I'm mentioning this. This is the first time anybody from Team Prenga is mentioning this. And we had no intention of ever discussing this. But I had a little team meeting on a conference call this morning, and I felt that because of the conspiracy theories that were floating, I had to go down this road. And I didn't want to go down this road because I'm a person, and everybody I deal with, in boxing, I'm a person that believes in responsibility and accountability, and you accept the outcome of things, and we do. But what happened here was Christian had gotten very sick leading up to the fight. He didn't spar or train for 2 weeks before he got to Jeddah. He had 102 fever, and he was in bed for 8 days straight. We brought a doctor into camp. He moved camp over to Dubai. So he brought a doctor in, drew some blood to make sure there wasn't something more serious going on. And they said he was just run down, and they thought it was a flu or a cold or something, and he would get over it. And it took 14 days. So we had the last 7 days before we went to Jeddah for training. We had a sparring partner there in Dubai who we didn't use at all because he just had we couldn't get him out of bed to go for a walk. In the first round, he came out and just gassed himself out. Mm. The instructions in the corner for the second round were continue what you're doing, keep the pressure on, keep pumping the jab, and when you have the opportunities, take them. Christian stood up off the stool to start that when that bell rang for the second round, and he said to me he felt like he was back in that bed that he was in for 8 days when he was gasping for air and had no energy. He was stunned what happened to him, like in an instant. He said it all came right back to him. And the lack of training, the lack of cardio that he wasn't able to do in the 3 weeks leading up to him, they caught him right at that moment. So in his head, he kind of changed the game plan from what he was instructed to do. He said to himself, I've got AJ's number. I've knocked him down 3 times. I don't care what anybody says. It was 3 knockdowns. Those ropes held him up absolutely in between the 2 counted knockdowns. You see his body flop back. If those ropes aren't there, he's on the flat of his back. And Christian Prenga has knocked a 2-time Olympian, 3-time heavyweight world champion on his ass 3 times in the first round. And Anthony Joshua was going into the second round 10-6 down. That's never happened in his life. I don't think he's ever been. It was 10-7 because they didn't count the third knockdown. But accepting 10-7, I don't think he's ever gone into a second round down 10-7. No. So the pressure was clearly on AJ. But so Christian's figured, I have his number. I can just land my shot when I'm ready to. Let me preserve some energy. Let me stay away. Let me back up a little bit. And that's the sliver, and that goes to the talent of and the skill set of AJ. That's the tiny, tiny opening in the door that AJ needed to kick that door wide open and just take over. And that's what happened. And Christian said, once AJ started working that jab and he started feeling that power, it was hard to now implement his own game plan. And, we saw what happened. But there was no, and again, I'm not making excuses. I think these guys, I think it was the most exciting 5.5 minutes of boxing that I've witnessed in a very long time. I think Eddie Hearn got a lot of gray hair sitting ringside. I think the Matchroom people, have indigestion probably still to this day. But, that's what happened. He just, he was feeling the effects of a poor camp and being sick. He thought he thought he could execute against AJ at any point in time. And he let off the gas and he gave that opening to AJ, and AJ just did what AJ does, what a talented, skilled, high-level, very experienced fighter does. And remember, Christian he has no amateur experience. Forget about even trying to compare it to AJ. He's got zero. Never had an amateur fight in his life. The only fights he's had are the pro fights that he's had, which is 22 of them now. He's 20 and 20. He's 20 and 2, and a lot of his fights don't go many rounds.
No, I mean, his last couple of fights have only gone a round, and this one, I guess, is 100% more than that, going 2 rounds. Very quickly, just because of time, Keith, in terms of what next for Prenga, he's now arrived, right? He's now on the scene. People know who Prenga is. And even if it was only for 5.5 minutes, I think we saw how dangerous he is as a puncher. Have there been any conversations with Eddie, with Turkey? I mean, are we going to see him on a couple more Riyadh season events or over here where the boxing division is sort of the biggest it's ever been?
So I'll be having those conversations in the days ahead. Right now, I just wanted to make sure that Christian is okay and he's good. And he's, I'm always worried about, especially when you're in with a heavy puncher like AJ, I'm worried about the physicality. So I spoke to him this morning about an hour ago before I got to my law office here in New York City. He just arrived in Albania. He's got no headaches, no nausea, no vomiting, no dizziness, no blurry vision. That's what that's what my focus was the past 24 hours, and we're past that. So now I'm going to start making some phone calls and get him in the mix, because I think he's demonstrated he has power in the right hand and he's got a tremendous left hook. Eddie Hearn described that uppercut as an uppercut that would knock out a horse. AJ described it as a powerful, devastating uppercut. You were there ringside. You saw the power he has. It's there. He may not have the skill set. He may not have the experience of an AJ, of a Fury, etc. But he can hang in that division. And there's a few things we have to work on in training. I'm not naive. I get it. I understand that. If we're going to try to keep him at this level, we've stepped up in competition tremendously. And there's some things we're going to work on so he can perform better in that scene. But we're not making any excuses. So just trying to explain what went on and what he was thinking when he came out of that second round.
Final one, obviously, that leads to AJ versus Fury. Obviously, as a boxing fan, and that's what you are first and foremost. Keith, how do you think that plays out very quickly, AJ versus Fury, if it does happen in November or October?
I wanted to see that fight 5-7 years ago. I think it's way past its time. It's like taking two vintage cars and putting them, at the starting line of Formula One. I hope they both sort of kind of eroded and corroded and have half the tanks, because it might make it for an exciting match. But, I'm not good at making predictions. You have two powerful punches. I think AJ has some vulnerabilities. I've said this from the beginning. And if you have the right game plan and the right mind for it, you can exploit those vulnerabilities and take him out of his comfort zone and take his legs away and, take some of the doubt away, put some doubt in his head and take some of the confidence away. But look, I give him a world of credit. He was a respectful gentleman afterwards, and he gave KP a tremendous amount of respect for his power and his skill set. But he got up off the mat twice. He knew he was against those ropes and could have been out of the ring. If the ropes weren't there, he would have been on his back again. And he got it together and he settled in, and, he did what he's always been able to do. So,
Keith, honestly,
AJ,
can't thank you enough for coming on. I know you must be a man in very high demand, so I'm expecting to see you everywhere in the next couple of hours. But Keith, really appreciate you, and good luck to Christian in the near future, because I think he can be a bit of a problem in the heavyweight division. Keith Sullivan there, the manager of Christian Prenga. All right, loads more boxing coming your way. Saturday Fight Night Live is from Dublin this Saturday. Pierce O'Leary versus Mark Chamberlain is the headline act at the Free Arena, as O'Leary puts his IBO World Super Lightweight title on the line in his first defence while the British Southpaw gets his first world title shot after stepping up from lightweight. You can join DAZN Ultimate for 185 plus fight nights and 12 plus pay-per-views every single year, including Italma versus Hrgovic and the big one, Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn, all included at no extra cost.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
The Vinny Jr. situation is interesting because I think when it came out of the weekend that Arsenal were keen, we all thought, well, how can they do that deal? He's on 400 grand a week. He'd smash Arsenal's pay structure.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, even though he's stalling on signing a new contract, are going to want a six-figure sum. But if they sign Diamonde, as looks likely, how do the two fit into the same team? And I think what's really interesting here, and Ben Jacobs, I think, has mentioned this a couple of times, they've got the same agent, Vinicius Jr. and Jan Diamonde. So would his agency take Diamonde to Real Madrid knowing that he's going to compete with Vinicius Jr.? I don't think Vinicius Jr. to Arsenal is as fanciful as maybe it first appeared.
Now, when you look at Arsenal, they probably will. They've just got rid of Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard's gone.
So that's a space need, and they've only got Martinelli on that left-hand side. So they do need somebody else. Who is that person that's going to be able to fill in that space for them? Because there's not a large selection around the world, is there, Quickie?
No, I thought it would be Morgan Rogers, to be honest. I thought that deal would get done. I know he met Mikel Arteta even before jetting out to the World Cup, and Arteta had made him a top target, but fair play, Chelsea came in and gazumped them. I'm not sure Arsenal would have paid 100.
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo alongside Mr. Rory Jennings in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still to come, we're going to be discussing the top 5 British sports stars right now. Not easy. Top 5. I can only think of 3. Like 3 bankers. The other 2 just... we'll see anyway. Now, though, it's time to get an update on the Commonwealth Games, thanks to BYD.
Commonwealth Games update on talkSPORT with BYD. Dare to dream with BYD and the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, talkSPORT is your home of the Commonwealth Games, with the coverage over on talkSPORT 2 at 7 p.m. tonight. And we will, of course, keep you updated throughout the show here today as well. And we can get you all the latest now with John Cushion, who's there for talkSPORT. John, bring us up to date with what we've missed so far today and what we can expect later on this evening.
Oh man, there's so much that we've missed today already. It's been really great. I'm at the Scotstoun Stadium right now. They're rehearsing ahead of the first opening night of the athletics. I've got one of the 5, a British athlete who should be in your top 5, by the way, at the moment. Maybe ask me that later.
Wait, go on. Wait, go on. Who is it? Who are you putting in already?
Josh Kerr.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, banker, well done. Good answer.
Thanks. Right, I've passed the athletics test. Tonight we've got Georgia Hunter-Bell, our British silver medalist from the World Championship, starts the 800-metre campaign here tonight in round one. We saw the men's and women's 100 metres here earlier today. Imani Lansiko qualifying fastest. She's in the semi-finals with Amy Hunt tomorrow because Amy Hunt was seeded, so she's already in the semi-finals. That was great to see. We've got the men's 110-metre hurdles final tonight. It's the last event. Teja Jura and Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett brilliantly won his heat to qualify fastest for the final. He's a 25-year-old from Southend, desperate to win a gold medal or at least a medal in front of his family here tonight in the 110 hurdles. So that's some of the athletics coming up this evening. But what's happened so far very quickly is we've won lots of medals in the gymnastics. So the home nations have been winning medals galore. Scotland in the pommel. Reuben Ward, who was the all-round champion yesterday, the first ever for Scotland, he got a silver. Cameron Lynn, his teammate, won a bronze. England's Luke Whitehouse won the floor final. He's a four-time European champion on the floor, and he's now a Commonwealth champion as well. Abby Morgan won silver in the vault. Abby Roper for Wales won the bronze in the vault, and she beat her sister Emily into that bronze medal position. But the good news is, in the last hour, Emily Roper has just won bronze in the women's uneven bars. So she's matched her twin sister. I think the Roper household will be happy with that this afternoon. So
sibling
that
rivalry,
is what
we love that.
Exactly. We've got 6 home nation fighters in boxing action tonight. We've had 3 winners, I think, earlier on today. And Adam Ramsey-Peaty, Duncan Scott, Daniel Whiffin, all in swimming finals this evening. So look, so much, as you say, to come on talkSPORT from 7. And also, you can be here, Glasgow2026.com. There are still some tickets available.
John, just before I let you go, Amy Hunt, you mentioned her. Obviously, look.
Yes.
I always feel like this is a massive season for her, just because for the last decade or so, it really has been Dina Asher-Smith. Obviously, Daryl Neater's come and challenged her, but Dina's been just our go-to girl for major championships all the time, and she, most of the time, has delivered. Amy, I think, in the last couple of years, or at least the last 12 months, has started to eclipse her and beat her in a couple of big events as well. This is Amy's chance to really get a medal and then kick on for the Worlds and the Olympics coming up.
You're absolutely right. We asked her, why are you coming to the Commonwealth Games? Some people have withdrawn, Dina Asher-Smith being one of them. She said she had a niggle. Amy Hunt said, the Diamond League is all very fun, but I want to win medals.
Yeah.
And medals are here and available at the Commonwealth Games. You ask Greg Rutherford, who will be on the radio later, winning a Commonwealth title is important. And I think Amy Hunt, Imani Lansiko, who I mentioned in the 100 metres as well, joining in the semi-finals. I spoke to Imani after her race earlier. She said, that's one of the reasons why I had to be here. I want to be part of the Commonwealth. It's a great thing. The world is a troubled place at the moment. The Commonwealth is about bringing people together. That's one reason to be here. The other reason for medals. So you're absolutely right. Amy Hunt is a world champion silver medalist in recent times. I think you've got to look back really early 2020s, even 2019, 2018 for when Dina was really challenging at a world level. So I think you're right. Amy Hunt is our super sprint star. That's why she was seeded. She's straight into the semis tomorrow. We'll see. I'd love her to win and be on that podium tomorrow night in the women's 100-metre final at the top of the podium, because I think she deserves it. And the way that she's fought her way through the system and worked indoors, because she's a very tall sprinter, so it's very hard to start in a 60-metre race. She's turned that around. She's brilliant now at indoors, and she's now taking that on the outfield, and as I said, won that world silver. But look, there are some big names over the next few days. I joked about it, but Georgia Hunter-Bell, she's up against Lillian Adira in the 800 metres. Adira's the world champion in the 800 metres. Georgia Hunter-Bell's the silver medalist. There go again here in Glasgow. That's not happening anywhere else this year, apart from here in Glasgow. And then you've got Josh Kerr against Cam Myers of Australia in the mile at the end of the week. That is going to be huge, I tell you.
That's the one. He's in our top 5, I tell you that as well. John, really appreciate my man. Thank you very, very much.
Pleasure.
John Cushion there, giving us an update as to what's going on in the Commonwealth Games. All thanks to BYD.
Commonwealth Games update on talkSPORT with BYD. Dare to dream with BYD and the Commonwealth Games.
All right, it's just coming up to 5 o'clock. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Myself, Adi Oladipo, and Rory Jennings. Up next, we're discussing the big transfer news of the weekend, and that's a set-piece coach being taken from Aston Villa to Chelsea. Dan Bardell is going to join us. You can join us as well. 03717 223344. Come and get involved.
this a couple of times now. I can't help but think when he comes up with lines about people criticising the refereeing decisions and puts lines in his quotes such as "I'm sorry you missed it all." I can't help but think there's a little dig towards the head of UEFA there, Alexander Seferin.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, Seferin decided to stay away from the World Cup final, which was quite unprecedented. FIFA were briefing, actually, that was a pre-planned decision, but the message coming out of UEFA very much was that it was a protest by their president. Actually, I picked out a couple of screenshots, and he does talk about some of the refereeing decisions and says it's curious the same countries employing these practices are the ones criticising. He's talking about the decision to overturn Flo Balogun's red card, which for me was probably the most shameful moment of this World Cup. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite, Andy. You were there. Troy obviously lives out in the States. I had a wonderful 5.5 weeks. I thought it was a brilliant tournament. I thought the American hospitality was terrific. But let's not pretend it was perfect. He also talks about
Monaco, Singapore, Las Vegas. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all F1 street circuits. 20 years ago, the sports only visited 3 a year. From 2026, there'll be 10, despite the actual racing often being worse. So why? Why are there so many street circuits? Cars racing past the Casino Monte Carlo is one of the iconic images in all of sport. But in the last few years, it's been joined in the Street Circuit Club by the dazzling Grand Prix on the Las Vegas Strip, in Miami, Azerbaijan and others. And there's no sign of the trend slowing down. The streets of Madrid have also gotten involved, and there are conversations about Grand Prix in the capitals of Thailand and Rwanda. But fitting them in means we said goodbye to classic circuits like Hockenheim and Imola, angering fans who are still packing out the European tracks like Spa, the Hungaroring and Monza. And these generally produce more wheel-to-wheel action than street circuits too. At Silverstone in 2025, there were a total of 26 on-track overtakes. At Monaco, 4. I'm an F1 enthusiast. Even I struggle with that. But it appears to be a good step. In 2025, there was a record 2.3 million strong viewership for the Monaco Grand Prix in the US alone. Meanwhile, for the British Grand Prix several weeks later, 1.5 million tuned in. So why are we seeing this drive towards street circuits? Well, no prizes for guessing. Money. Formula One demands a fee of between $20 and $60 million for the rights to even hold an event. In total, including sponsorships, it's believed officials in Saudi Arabia pay almost $100 million for their race. The huge fees are possible because of the street track's city centre locations, as people staying at hotels at inflated prices and tourist sites brimming with visitors mean the cities rake the cash back in when the race comes to town. So it makes financial sense for Formula One and the cities, but will it cost the sport in the long run if F1 races are too boring? After all, nothing beats the roar of an F1 car as it flies through the forests of Europe, or mechanics watching a storm coming across the humid Asian countryside. Take that away and, well, you may as well just watch American IndyCar.
Good afternoon, Drive. You're listening to it, Oladipo and Rory Jennings here on talkSPORT. Still to come, we are going to be discussing the top 5 British sports stars right now. Kerr?
Hodgkinson.
Yep.
Kane.
Oh, yeah. That's it. One more space. We'll think of that one more space.
Lewis Hamilton. Is it?
Oh, there you go. That's it. Done. Show's done.
Is it?
And go.
Actually,
of course it is.
How much?
Is it?
Is it? How much of it is him being a great sportsman or his car going fast?
And Kim Kardashian being next to him.
Yeah.
Helps, doesn't it? Helps.
Yeah.
Now, though, it's Chelsea's turn to be in the headlines once again. Chelsea have stolen Villa's set-piece coach, the most embarrassing transfer, surely, of all time.
Austin McPhee will leave his role as Aston Villa's set-piece coach after Chelsea triggered his release clause.
I think any coach or manager looking at his team
will know his team's qualities. Effectively, it's not rocket science.
I think it'd almost be a dereliction of duty for clubs not to put focus on that, not to get specialist set-piece coaches.
Set-piece coach statue now.
It's getting embarrassing, all this. I honestly, the fact that we even discussed it, I think is quite a thing, honestly.
Modern football's gone mad.
It's gone mad.
Like, when Arsenal, and look, Arsenal won the league, and fair play to them. But when like they've got that mural as you go to the ground, sort of from the Caledonian Road side, and they were going to, or they had one of Nico Jova. It's
crazy.
It's crazy.
What is happening?
It is absolutely
Peace
bonkers,
coach.
isn't it? They made a mural to him. Like, to get a mural, it's not a million miles off a statue. It's like
it's
like
the same thing.
Commemoration.
It's the same thing. Yeah. We're remembering
it's like the backroom staff.
Get throw-ins correct. Crazy. Austin McPhee, we're talking about, he's going to leave his role as Aston Villa's set-piece coach after 5 years because Chelsea have triggered his... How does he even have a release clause in his contract? How does he sit down and get a release clause in it?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Villa scored the joint most number of goals from set-pieces in Europe last season alongside Arsenal, 29, which is a big number, to be fair. And, of course, with Rory Jennings alongside him, we had to get the Villa side of things as well, I think it's fair to say. So we've been searching and scouring the internet for one. We have got one, he's coming. But on it, very quickly though, big loss for Villa though, isn't it? Or is it? I don't know.
I find it very difficult to get to. I appreciate that people will now call me sort of old-fashioned and a yadar and whatever else, but I find it very difficult to get too animated about this.
Yeah.
It's a member of the backroom staff. It would be like if Billy Blood left Chelsea and went to Arsenal. It would be like, okay, I can't get animated about this.
Yeah.
It's a member of the backroom staff.
You know who is animated though? A good friend of the show, Mr. Dan Bardell, is livid.
Is he?
He's not happy at all. Dan, I find it all very embarrassing, Dan, and I heard you're upset about it, so I find it embarrassing for you. But go on, why are you so upset, Dan, about losing your set-piece coach? Is it because of his hair? Good hair. I'll give him that. But anything else? Sort of, I'm bewildered as to why anyone cares about this.
I wouldn't say I was massively upset.
Are you crying?
I'm just. I've gone a bit red, to be fair, looking at myself on the screen there. I'm not sure why. My thing is more he's gone Chelsea, really. Like, obviously we've lost a big player to Chelsea in the last 7 days, and then it's just kind of another thing there where a team that's finished 10th and, as Rory will know, has been a mess under Bluco for the entirety of time. He's just decided to go there, I guess, for more money. I've met him a couple of times. He's a really nice guy, really good at what he does. I think the release fee stuff is pretty standard. Backroom staff contracts. To be fair, I think probably most clubs their staff will have the same kind of thing going on. So it's a pretty low fee. It's probably not even worth reporting. But
wait, what's the fee? Do you know the fee?
Someone's told me, but I can't come. I can't. No, I can't. It's low. It's low.
Text me. Let me.
When you say low, what are we talking? Are we talking like change down the back of the sofa low? What are we talking?
You're not talking millions of pounds,
right?
Okay.
You're not talking millions of pounds.
Dan,
you two are getting paid more than that for the show.
Dan, do you know what I can't work out? And it feels like you're going to have far more knowledge on this kind of thing than me. How impactful do you think this story will be, both for you and for us?
I think from a Villa perspective, look, he's been there 5 years. He came in under Dean Smith. Steven Gerrard came in pretty quickly and kind of discarded him a little bit, didn't give him much of a chance to do what he's good at. And as soon as he left, Unai Emery kept him on and identified him as someone who could be a weapon for Villa. And look, Villa have scored lots of set-piece goals. I don't know how many they would have scored without him, but when I watch us play, our set pieces are pretty inventive. Even in some games, if we do something that's quite inventive and it doesn't come off, you think, that was quite a good move. I can see what we were trying to do there, and it goes away for a few months, and then maybe it comes back out the playbook and we use it again at some juncture. Ultimately, if Unai Emery left, I'd be absolutely devastated. That's the only thing that's going to cause me to shed tears. But I still think in the summer where there's been a lot of change for Villa in terms of a couple of backroom staff members have left already, some of the medical team have left, and obviously we've lost 2 key players. I think when you put it all together, that's probably the thing that's disappointing for me, rather than it being the individual that's gone, if that makes sense.
You know what scares me, Dan, and this is not a Villa thing, this is more just a footballing thing in sort of entirety, the set piece thing and the focus on set pieces. Like, I was at the World Cup and I was watching Spain just knock it around, and they barely relied on set pieces, and France do the same thing. I don't know how many goals they score from set pieces as well, and it just kind of took me back to Arsenal. Arsenal won the title, so fair dues to them, but the reliance and the over-reliance on set pieces now, rather than just playing good football, it's giving me a headache.
I just think there's now individual coaches for a lot of things. I think obviously Arsenal utilised it really well last season, and maybe you watch them and think it's gone from being a marginal gain to being the be all and end all, but it was an effective tool for them, and ultimately it was one of the things that carried them over the line to win the Premier League title, which is it's what they wanted to do, isn't it? It's what they've been trying to do for years. I understand what you're saying, but I also think set pieces have just always been a thing that's happened. I had a bit of a debate with Stan Collymore, who I've got no problem with at all. He sits a couple of seats away from the Villa, and he was saying it's not a loss at all. So everyone will have a different opinion on it. He reckons set pieces are no better or no worse than they've ever been, and that basically these specialists are coming on and being chances was essentially what he said on X. But he has been a good part of Villa, and the players have always spoken well about him as well. When they score a goal off a set piece, they go and celebrate with him. Like, he's obviously very good at what he does, and he'll probably be very good at what he does at Chelsea as well.
So McPhee has gone. Obviously, Tielemans has gone and Morgan Rogers has gone.
Wow.
What are your aspirations for the new season, Dan? Because obviously, Unai Emery, I think everybody here, you, me, Addy, we all agree that Unai Emery is excellent at what he does, elite at what he does.
Second best manager in the league.
I think you can certainly argue that. Yeah, I think you can certainly argue it. Are you still? What are you thinking now for the new season? Because I think off the back of last season, you qualified for the Champions League. It was a very good campaign. But this summer hasn't gone to plan so far, has it?
I think there was always going to be a little bit of a reshuffle, but I think some of the things that have happened have maybe expedited it a little bit. Like Villa had to get younger because they've got the oldest average age in the Premier League, if you look at the numbers last season. So something was fundamentally going to have to change, and it's difficult for Villa because of the financial situation. But it's better to do it when you're on top, in my opinion, because you're more attractive to prospective players when you're in the Champions League. So Villa have got Johan Manzambian, who they got in before Rodgers left, but is essentially Rodgers' replacement. He's got a high ceiling. Maybe he doesn't come with Villa on in the Champions League. So I understand it. I'm not particularly worried because, as I said earlier, Unai Emery's the king at Villa. The day he goes is the day I'll start to worry about this football club. As long as he's there, we'll be somewhere near where we need to be. We'll be challenging for Europe still. We'll still be trying to disrupt the top five, the top six. I do think this season, pre-season, the way it's gone so far with the transfers, it's more geared up for the so-called big six to become the top six for the first time in a long time, because Villa have disrupted it a couple of times under Unai Emery. But I'd say that we'll be pretty close to them because we've got that stability and we've got a genuinely top-class manager. And you guys agree he's one of the best managers out there. So he will always be Villa's differential. And whoever the players are, they will always get better when they're working under that manager. I think that's a fact at this point.
Dan, final one. You spoke about the financials. Obviously, you guys are kind of, I don't know, you're almost trying to play cards with your hands tied behind your back. And then you must see what Chelsea are spending. You think, how's that possible? You're not allowed to spend, and Chelsea have just spent that much money on Morgan Rogers. They spent that much money in Palestra. They spent that much money in Quenda, and you guys can't spend any money.
Yeah, and look, Chelsea, it's not just Chelsea as well. It's Tottenham. They've obviously spent a lot of money after a couple of really bad seasons. The rules are there. They benefit those teams because of the revenues, and Villa are never going to get their revenues up to that level. Villa have got, and I include Coventry in this, Villa have got the second lowest net spend in the Premier League across the last 5 years. Like, we've spent barely anything because we've sold really well, yet we still can't go and have free reign in the season when we've just won a trophy and we're now going to be in the Champions League again. It's annoying. It drives me mad on a regular basis. Chelsea, City, whoever, they were allowed to build at a time where the rules were pretty flimsy and they got themselves to a certain level, and now their revenues are through the roof. For Villa, Forest, Newcastle, whoever, that's never, ever going to happen because the rules don't allow that to happen now. But we'll just carry on going on about our business and just try and be successful, despite all that stuff. And that's what we've done for the last 4 years. And I'll keep backing us to do it again because, honestly, I can't tell you how special this manager is and where we're so lucky to have him.
Dan, as always, my man, appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Dan Bardell there, massive Villa fan, top broadcaster as well. All right, let's quickly focus on Chelsea whilst we've got a couple of minutes. Reports suggesting, by the way, that Chelsea are in for Danny Welbeck, Brighton striker, who's had a good last couple of seasons, to be fair. I mean, there was some talk about him being in the World Cup squad as well. That didn't materialise, but it's a bit strange, isn't it? Chelsea have always gone young, always got on these sort of exciting new talents, and this is a completely different sort of shift in ideas.
Yeah, which is progress. I think it's progress. I think it's the club. I think it's a testament to the club acknowledging that they got it wrong, acknowledging that they made a pig's ear of it, acknowledging that they tried to run Chelsea Football Club as if we were some Silicon Valley tech startup. That didn't work. And now, fair play to them, they've gone, okay, we now need to shift, we need to pivot, we need to bring in a proven manager with pedigree. We need to give that manager the title of manager, which is symbolic. We now need to let him do his job and bring in the kind of players that he deems necessary.
What does he do well that you would...
Who, that guy Wells?
Yeah, Welbeck.
Well, what does he do well?
What does he do well? It's like what?
Okay.
Apart from the last couple of seasons where I think he's got 16 Premier League goals and 10, he's been in the Premier League. This will be now his 20th season in the Premier League coming up.
Yeah.
And this isn't me trying to dig at him because I think he's a good role model. He's a good professional. He's got 92 goals in 20 years in the Premier League.
But what you just touched on there is very important.
Role model bit.
Well, yeah, what you just touched on there is very important.
Cool.
What Chelsea haven't had since this ownership took over. Let's remember, when this ownership took over at Chelsea, we were champions of Europe. In fact, we were champions of the world, if you really want to drill into it, right? We won that tournament.
No one wanted to.
We won that tournament in Dubai, right? That's who we were. That's who we officially were. Since they come in, everything has gone wrong. We've bought terrible player after terrible player. We've bought young, only young. We have lost any kind of standard at the club. What Danny Welbeck will bring, regardless of how effective you think he will be, I think he'll be a good player for us. But even if you want to have a conversation about that, he will bring standards. He knows what the culture of a dressing room is supposed to be. He will bring an experience and a knowledge to that dressing room, which is basically incredibly
Isn't
young.
it going too far the other way, though? You've gone incredibly young. You are correct. Ain't you now going incredibly old? He's 35. Isn't the happy medium somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, absolutely. But he's a very experienced player. Chelsea don't have any distraction, if you want to try and put a positive spin on it, any distraction of European football. He will be required to play, approximately, I reckon, 20 games a season.
So that's Liam Delap gone.
Oh, Liam.
I'm just asking, is that
Liam
for you?
Delap,
Liam Delap gone?
should never play for Chelsea again. I mean, you could argue that he should have never played for Chelsea.
Nicholas Jackson gone as well?
Nicholas Jackson, I think you have a conversation about.
Okay.
I think Nicholas Jackson probably goes.
Yeah.
But if you think about what Chelsea will be, it will be João Pedro with Danny Welbeck to fill in as and when. Equally, if Cole Palmer's injured, then what will happen is João Pedro can do that role. Danny Welbeck goes up front.
Yeah.
I think it will be. I think it's a very good signing. It's good for the standards. It's good that the club are now backing the manager's decision. This will be an Alonso decision. He wanted to bring in Granit Xhaka, didn't he? He didn't get Granit Xhaka. I think he clearly wants experience. He clearly wants experience and standards. Which, when you think about how Chelsea,
I like the way you spun it. I mean, don't worry, you spun it very well.
Addy, it is true. If you think about how Chelsea,
it's never a Chelsea signing.
I never liked.
Even over the Abramovich era, where this is so not a Chelsea signing.
We're not that club, though. We're not that club anymore.
You're that club in terms of spending power.
No, but we're not that club. We don't have those standards. We don't have those aspirations. Like when Roman Abramovich was Chelsea manager, the ambition every season was to win the European Cup and the Premier League in the same season. That was the ambition.
Yeah.
The ambition now is to, at best, qualify for the Champions League. I think Danny Welbeck helps us qualify for the Champions League potentially. I think he contributes.
If you're Danny Welbeck, you're buzzing.
Yeah, I think he contributes to us potentially challenging for the Champions League. But what he will bring us is standards. What he will bring us is professionalism. Whatever you think, or whatever I thought of Graham Potter as Chelsea manager, the Chelsea players calling him Harry Potter is obviously bang out of order. I think it's quite funny, but I'm not a Chelsea player. I'm not a Chelsea employee. The players that were his players had absolutely no respect for the office of Chelsea manager when they're calling Graham Potter Harry Potter. They had absolutely no respect for the office of Chelsea manager when they're calling Liam Rosenior a substitute teacher, laughing at him, mocking his method. Like, I think his methods deserve to be mocked. He was a stain on the office of Chelsea manager. He was a terrible Chelsea manager, the worst that we've had since Ian Porterfield, if not before. But the players shouldn't have been doing that. I don't think that happens on Danny Welbeck's watch. I don't think Welbeck allows anyone to mock the manager like that. He was managed by Sir Alex Ferguson. He's not going to allow that sort of disrespect to the office of manager.
I hope for your sake, you're right. I wanted to get the Chelsea fans' views on the set-piece coach, but now I want to get the Chelsea fans' views on this Danny Welbeck impending arrival at the club. 35 years of age, has had a good last couple of seasons, but is this the type of signing that Chelsea fans want in order to compete for the league title? And that's what Chelsea should be looking at every single season. 03717 223344. And Villa fans, more importantly, you're losing everyone. You're losing your players. Now you're losing your set-piece coach. Are you upset by this, or is it just a case of a weird transfer that none of you care about? Again, give us a call, 03717 223344.
Vinicius Junior. I'll read this from the Telegraph Sport, their sports pull-out this morning. Dom King writes, Arsenal prepared to offer Brazilian forward Vini Junior the biggest contract in the club's history as they plot to outline their soaring ambition. He currently commands a weekly salary, 400,000 euros a week at Madrid, but Arsenal would look to improve that to maximise their chances of pulling off an audacious coup. It kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it, boys, on Saturday afternoon. He's got a year left on his deal at Real Madrid. Arsenal exploring the possibility, Troy, of signing Vini Junior. Is it going to happen? And if it does happen, where does this rank in Premier League history in terms of biggest coups for the Premier League, not just Arsenal?
If it did happen, it would be amazing for the Premier League to have a superstar on that level in terms of global appeal, blah, 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 all that stuff. I don't like it.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't think it suits the way that Arsenal play. I don't think his personality suits Arteta.
Good afternoon, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo alongside Mr. Rory Jennings. We're in partnership with Giacomo, Style and Brands for every single man. Still to come, we're going to be asking, is it time to boycott FIFA competitions? Oh, it's a big conversation, isn't it? That's the big... Would you say yes or no?
I think there's a problem with FIFA. I
must feel like there might be a breakaway, soon.
I think there is a real problem. I think the way that the World Cup ultimately played out, yeah, we had some great games, but it wasn't played in the spirit. The World Cup wasn't what it should have been, in my opinion.
I'd love to tell you, but I might get sued, and I haven't made enough money yet to tell you how bad it was on ground, pitch side.
Really? Really?
Shocking.
Yeah, there were so many things.
Shocking.
There were so many things.
The things they make money off, you wouldn't believe.
I know.
Yeah, shocking. Rory's giving me that look like, Addy, stop talking about it. So I will. All right, just quickly, RB Leipzig winger Yan Diomande has agreed personal terms of Real Madrid after Paris Saint-Germain withdrew their interest. What a player. Liverpool interested? No. Paris Saint-Germain interested? No. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
And he's found a photo of him with a Real Madrid uniform, as they always do. In darts, though, Luke Littler beat Gerwyn Price 18-9 in Blackpool to become just the fourth person to win back-to-back match play titles. And now that we're taking your calls, Chelsea, Nick and Villa's set-piece coach, is it one of the most embarrassing transfers of all time? I think so. 03717 22 33 44. It is, though, isn't it? Very quickly before we go to the phone lines. Don't you think? It's a bit... desperate, isn't it?
Addy, I don't know if I'm like either a dying breed or I'm completely wrong, but I can't care about this. I can't care about some geezer in the backroom staff. I barely know who he is or what he looks like.
Do you mind caring about it for another 5 minutes till 5:30?
Okay, I'll do my best.
Can you try?
I'll do my best. I'll be really animated about Nanny McPhee.
Yeah. Let's go. All right, let's go to Richard on the phone lines. Richard, Chelsea, doing big business. Like, important business first. The likes of Morgan Rogers coming in, I think, is a big signing for them. But this set-piece coach, I mean, Rory, just two old geezers that don't care about this type of stuff, or is it important?
Yeah, I think it's important. Yeah, in today's game, more and more clubs have got them. I'm a bit surprised by Welbeck though, but I think, to be honest with you, I mean, can I just say, right? there were a lot of Chelsea fans saying that they would give up the FA Cup if Tottenham got relegated. To me, that's just classless. Tottenham didn't get relegated and Chelsea didn't win the FA Cup. Ha ha ha! Classless club.
He's a Spurs fan. He wanted that moment, didn't he? It was like, Rory Jennings is on. I'm going to say what I want to Rory Jennings.
Yeah, I mean, and he did.
He did.
Although I don't think you can sort of present that as a victory too much, can you? That we didn't get relegated. Put it in the trophy cabinet.
Yeah.
Put it in the trophy cabinet. What is it? 3 trophies since 1991.
They'll be all right this season, though.
Yeah, they might be actually. I know De Zerbi's a good manager. I think they've been doing well in the transfer market.
And some good signings as well. Let's go to Darren. Is Darren there? Spurs fan as well? Okay, let's go. Darren's gone. Let's go to Sat very quickly. Sat, Villa fan. Sat, how upset are you with what's happening to Villa in the summer? You just probably heard Dan Bardell there. You've got one of the best managers, I think, in Europe. And he's almost not allowed to do things. He's not allowed to bring in the players he wants to bring in. He's having to sell the players he clearly doesn't want to sell. And now he's lost his set-piece coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's the set-piece coach, I feel, is a footnote. I agree that we we score a lot of set-piece goals. I don't have the exact numbers, but I feel like we concede a good number as well. I never feel completely solid from set pieces, and I feel like it needs to be both ways if you are a set-piece coach. And on the playing squad thing, that does worry me a bit because we're linked with Watkins going out. We've got Consa linked with going out, and we've got Martinez still linked with going to Juve. And I feel like we have had, we've restructured, we've bought quite well, but we're almost at the point where we're tearing apart too much of the team. With Luca Dean also going out, you need time to build these relationships, which we'll have had over years, and that can't be replaced in one pre-season.
It is scary, isn't it? Because with Villa, you are very close, I think, to getting to that next level where it's consistently Champions League football and who knows, right, challenging for the league title. And if you are Consa, who, by the way, I think had a fantastic World Cup, especially considering that a portion of it was played out of position, you're probably looking around thinking, we've gone a bit backwards here in this window. We are losing our best players and not bringing in sort of equally talented players. You're bringing in good cover, but not as good as Rodgers. And certainly you ain't going to find a goalkeeper that much better than Emi Martinez if he goes as well. There must be concern that some of the bigger players might start looking around and getting itchy feet.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I feel like it's sort of getting to the point where we probably need to hear from the club that, that's fine, we've had these sales going out and we are working on incomings, but no one else is going. Because if we lose Watkins and we lose Consa, that's the spine of our team completely torn out. And then you just worry about, are we going to finish mid-table next season? Is that good enough to keep Unai? And the next thing you know, where are we the season after that? So it's at the moment optimistic, but if we lose any more sort of senior key players, that's when it becomes a worry.
Great call, Sap. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. Let's quickly get one more in if we can. Andrew, Manchester United. Andrew, you want to quickly talk about Danny Welbeck?
Yeah, I do, pal. Just a quick question for Rory. Rory, what makes you think it's Danny Welbeck's responsibility to make sure the management at Chelsea are not undermined?
I just think that the senior players of any dressing room will generally play a role in making sure that the dressing room is kept in line. It's fairly uncontroversial, isn't it?
And do you think him fitting in with his colleagues at the club's more important than to him looking like he's supporting the management team?
Do I what, sorry?
Do you think him fitting in with his colleagues at the club and being one of the boys is more important than to him looking like he's fitting in with the management team? It's not going to happen, mate.
No, I don't think he'll be trying to fit in with the management team. I just think that Danny Welbeck, because of who he's played for and because of his professionalism, he will naturally exude a level of commitment and professionalism that isn't there at Chelsea at the moment. It would be like if Chelsea were to sign John Stones, which I think we should. Bringing in a player like John Stones, who's been such a consummate professional for his entire career, should have a positive impact on the Chelsea dressing room.
So you think he'll distance himself from his colleagues in the dressing room and actually go align with the management?
No, I don't think there'll be a distance. I don't think there'll be a distance. I think he will set a tone of the dressing room which will make everybody on the same hymn sheet.
And he'll do that naturally, by the way, as well, isn't it? It's not something he thinks about doing. Yeah. It's just at 35 years of age.
They'll get in line with him. He's the player that they'll look to get in line with.
I don't agree, mate. I think that's a bit optimistic. I think would you say that would be the same if Rossini would have been there? Would Danny Welbeck not have jumped on board with getting on Rossini's back?
I think that players like John Stones, Danny Welbeck, players that have been in the game for 20 years, will naturally have a loyalty and professionalism which will respect the manager, and it will make sure that the players that don't are brought in line. The reason why players and dressing rooms thrive when they have players like Frank Lampard, John Terry, Petr Cech, Didier Drogba. The reason why the Chelsea dressing room was so in line and could win a Champions League with a player like with the manager like Roberto Di Matteo at the helm, is because of the standards that were set by the spine of the team. Bringing in players who have a track record of success, a track record of professionalism, can only help harmonise a dressing room and make a manager's life easier, can't it?
Yeah, I agree. For once, with you. All right, still to come. We're going to be hearing from new Liverpool boss Andoni Iraola. But first, it's time for no Googling. We've been discussing set pieces, the bane of my existence when it comes to football. We've been discussing it. We want to know which player has taken the most corners in Premier League history. Ooh, that's a tough
That's a great question.
It's a great. I know the answer. I've got it right in front of me. You haven't got the answer in front of you?
No.
Okay, cool. What player has taken the most corners in Premier League history? Answer when we come back.
It should be a case of, will we buy him? Not, more, will he buy into our club's ethos and the family feel? You cannot upset the dressing room vibe for anyone, no matter their reputation or their credentials.
So are you suggesting that if he comes to your club, he will upset the dressing room?
Not if we've done due diligence and Arteta talks to the man, not the footballer. But I promise you one thing, as a little bit of an aside and maybe a little bit tongue-in-cheek, if we do sign him, see just how quickly he becomes the most average winger in the world.
Dave, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You say there, interview the man. When have you ever known anyone to not buy into it before they've got in the building? So if you're Vinny Jr., you're going to put best foot forward, right? I'll buy in, Gaffer. I'll do all of these things. It's more worrying for me once he's in the building. I think the way that Arsenal won it was as a team and as a collective. And then if you add this superstar in, who, as Real Madrid have found out, will only defend when he wants to, will only play a formation that he wants to play, I think it causes so much more problems than it's worth.
Yeah, but I think that Arteta and the powers that be are good enough to sniff that out. I think Arteta's already proven in the way that he dealt with Aubameyang and those big egos, he put the club first and he thought to himself, no. That's what...
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first. first.
Right, quick question for you, Mr. Jennings.
Yes.
Very good. On the Danny Welbeck thing, yeah?
Yep.
1 year left on his deal at Brighton. 35 years of age.
Yep.
How much does Danny Welbeck cost?
With 1 year left, I
1 year
think
left at 35.
£10 million.
Think that much?
Yeah.
10 million quid.
10 million. What are we going to pay?
5?
No. He's a Premier League centre forward who's guaranteed
35.
goals.
Guaranteed goals.
You're a bagsman.
Guaranteed goals. He's got 92 goals in 20
You're a
years.
bagsman.
Yeah, guaranteed goals. Good luck to Danny Welbeck, though. I like him. Really good kid. All right, a few months ago, we brought you the second of today's No Googling. The question was, which player has taken the most corners in Premier League history? You had a few guesses. What were your
really annoying?
Did you not? Did they tell you the answer
No,
outside?
our producer Joe
They
wouldn't
didn't
tell me.
the
I
answer.
specifically wouldn't.
All right, go on. What were your guesses?
Really
No, what were your guesses?
My first guess was Ryan Giggs.
Which is a good guess. He must be up there. I don't know if we've got the numbers on Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs is wrong, is it?
Wrong answer.
Okay, Paul Merson.
Wrong answer. Give you two more. Then we've got to move on.
Who on earth has taken loads of corners?
Think of like longevity in the league. Think of like good set pieces.
Yeah, how many did Gareth Barry take?
Oh, it must have been over 1,000, but it's not the right answer. Was that another?
Gareth Barry?
No, one more. I'm surprised a man of your footballing knowledge wouldn't have said this kid yet.
How many?
I'll give you a clue.
Come on, then. What club?
If I give you this club, you're going to get it straight away. So I'm going to say West Ham, which is going to throw you, but I'm going to say West Ham because if I say his club, you'll get it. I'm going to say West Ham.
You're going to say West Ham, is it Declan Rice?
No, it's not.
Okay.
James Ward-Prowse.
Oh, what?
If I said Southampton, you would have got it.
Is it actually James Ward-Prowse?
1,300.
Do you know I discounted that? I'm not even joking. I discounted that from. I didn't think he'd done it for long enough in the Premier League. I thought it was going to be like a Giggs or a Barry or.
Yeah, no, I get you.
It's annoying.
Yeah, there you go.
See, go with your gut. There's a
all right. There's no trophy on.
Go with your gut.
No trophy.
That's so upsetting. So it's annoying because I thought of it.
All right, still to come. We're going to have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. But now let's hear from new Liverpool boss Andoni Iraola. He's been speaking exclusively to the Anfield Wrap, and he was asked about comparing his style of play to former manager Jurgen Klopp.
I think it's the nature of the game, no? Probably the best memories we all have when we were playing when we were kids, and we just love the game, and you spend there time with the friends, and you can spend 3-4 hours playing football, and not overthinking things. And when you become professional, and there is pressure from, sometimes it's difficult to enjoy the game, enjoy football, no? And there are. I always say there are few moments in your professional career where you honestly enjoy playing and you are not worried about what's going to happen, or just play for the love of the game. And when a player arrives to those moments, it's enjoyable for the ones watching normally, yes.
I love him.
Oh, he's a great manager. He's a great
fantastic manager. Could win the league.
Look, you could win.
Steady. Don't say anything.
You could win the league. He's an excellent manager. I think Liverpool have got it right.
Yeah.
I really do. I think you need to spend some money. I think you need to do something in this transfer market. I think you really do need to get active.
Yeah.
But if you do get active, he is the manager that can definitely make it work.
It's going to sound crazy. I'm about to say I don't think Liverpool can afford to spend the money we need to spend. I think Liverpool need about 5. Like 100.
Then you need to prioritise.
Joe Gomez has got injured again.
Well, then you need to prioritise. Within that 5, what do you really need? I think the answer is a centre-half.
Centre-half
immediately.
And a right-sided midfielder.
Do you know who I think you should sign? I'm not even joking.
Lacroix?
No.
Don't say John Stones.
Yeah, John Stones.
No, you can't. No.
I want Chelsea to sign.
He's as injured as Joe Gomez.
Yeah, but
that's the point. We need a 27-year-old. A 27-year-old fit and firing.
Yeah, I mean...
Basically, we need to sign Van Dijk like we did sign Van Dijk 8 years ago.
But you need... Look, if you're prioritising, say you need 5. If you actually prioritise 3, what is it? A centre-half?
Centre-half.
Central midfielder.
Right-sided midfielder. And a right-back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, although, you don't... I mean, you have got a right-back.
Who? Frimpong.
And Bradley?
Bradley's out. Still not fit.
Really?
Yeah. And there has to be a big concern about how injured Bradley is. He's just injured all the time.
No, it's difficult.
And that injury was against Arsenal. Do you remember that? When Martinelli tried to
that's right. Tried to pick it.
How long ago that is?
I know,
and he's still not fit, not ready to go. So, yeah.
But look, with Iraola at the helm, anything's possible.
It is. All right, we mentioned a bit earlier, didn't we, that Luke Littler beat Gerwyn Price 18-9 in Blackpool to become just the 4th person to win back-to-back World Match Play darts. Can you name them? Of course you can't, don't worry. He finished the week with an average of 111.04, beating Phil Taylor's record of 106.31. That was back in 2010, and he's on course to become back-to-back world champion. So that got us thinking, where does he rank when it comes to the top British sports stars right now? Right now, is he top 5? So look, I said we've put together our top 5. This is more your top 5, and I'm just kind of...
No, you're welcome. You're welcome to partake.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? And I don't want this to sound provocative.
No, go. I love provocative.
Luke Littler, I appreciate that he's amazing at what he does.
Here we go, steady. I know
does he qualify for this?
Why?
What, as a top sportsman?
Okay, but darts is a sport.
Yeah, I appreciate the definition, but...
What do you mean, then?
Does Luke...
Why are you throwing it to me?
Does Luke Littler make... So when I think of sports people, in my head, I'm going, like, Jessica Ennis-Hill was a sports person.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you trying to say that he's not an athlete?
Well, I don't think he is athletic.
No, but okay. If we are,
I don't think he's athletic. I don't think that's
darts.
Fine,
so you're not saying darts. So basically, you're saying darts isn't a sport.
No, I'm saying darts is a sport. But
and the title of this game is the top 5 sports stars.
Okay, then is Luke Littler in your top 5 sports people?
No,
I don't think he's.
Is he in yours?
No, he wasn't when I did it.
Okay, go on. Who are your 5?
I'll start with you. I'll start with the tap-in.
Yeah,
I think there's 2 footballers.
Yeah, go on.
It's Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham.
Without doubt.
It's Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
I just think it has to be those 2.
Was you thinking of Declan as well? Did he come into the Premier League winner?
I think that's a really good shout, actually. I didn't think of him, but you're probably correct.
Yeah.
You are probably correct. It is him as well.
Is that so? They're the 3.
Hang on. Do we have to be a little bit? Do we have to be a little bit little bit broader here? Yeah, a little bit less tribal, a little bit less. Yeah, a little bit more agnostic. Okay.
I'll take one.
Obviously, Lewis
Hamilton. One banker.
Okay, Lewis Hamilton, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane.
No, wait. Are they both definitely the top 5?
I think Bellingham just obvious. Bellingham and Kane can't be left out.
Would you have said Jude before the World Cup?
We're doing top 5.
I'm saying, would you have said Jude before the World Cup?
I think I probably would, but even if I wouldn't, the World Cup was so significant that it has to be Jude Bellingham. Right. Like we're doing the top 5 British sports people, right?
Yeah, this is big. Yeah.
Okay, Keely Hodgkinson.
Yeah. Yeah, the greatest 800-meter runner in the world right now. Olympic gold medalist, Olympic silver medalist. Basically won everything.
Yeah.
Has to be in.
Yeah.
Has to be in. Josh Kerr?
Josh Kerr.
Has to be in.
Yeah.
He's broke the world record.
Yeah, I agree. I think Josh Kerr can be in.
That's it then.
Is that it?
That's it.
Have we run out? God.
If we were doing 6, I'd have Luke Littler in.
Yeah. Would you?
No.
No. Because I was gonna say Ben Stokes. No.
No.
Ben Stokes over Luke Littler, though.
No, in terms of dominating his sport, Luke Littler's dominating. He's dominating his sport more than anyone's dominating their sport.
Yes.
Like, he turns up and I just expect him to win.
No,
like,
he does. He's amazing. He's amazing
Price.
at darts. I don't
your thing's darts.
I might be. Maybe. Look, I do love it.
So wait, 1 second. One second. So Ronnie O'Sullivan, if it was Ronnie.
Nah, Ronnie's.
Okay, wait.
Ronnie's in. Wait,
1 second.
No, wait, Ronnie has to
1 second. So darts, snooker's more of a sport than darts for you?
Snooker is more of a skill than darts for me. I believe. In my opinion, snooker is amazing. I also love this is my own list, right? This is personal.
Yeah.
Snooker, particularly when I was young, was amazing. Like, do you remember how brilliant Steve Davis was?
Yeah, Stephen Hendry, Steve Davis.
Steve Davis was just unrivaled.
Ken Doherty, yeah.
It was a great era. It was on the telly all the time. It was probably the second biggest sport.
I think we're...
My granddad, I remember being a kid, my granddad just had it on.
I think we're doing a disservice to how good Luke Litter is. I think he's so good that we maybe just don't understand just what we're watching.
Okay, but what's a harder sport? Darts or snooker? Like, Ronnie O'Sullivan is a more skilled sportsman than Luke Littler. That's fair.
Yeah.
Mate, you're looking at me.
No. You know, I think that's fair. Because, you know why I say it's fair? Because Ronnie can play left-handed. I don't think Luke Littler can do darts left-handed as good as Ronnie can play snooker left-handed.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is one of the greatest sports people of all time. Like, if you're doing the greatest British sports people, so Sir Bobby Charlton, in my opinion, is probably number one. You're the greatest sports...
Okay, would you have Phil Taylor in that list then?
No.
That means you've got a thing against darts.
I don't have a thing for or against
Phil
darts.
Taylor was more dominant in darts than Ronnie was in...
Ronnie O'Sullivan is in the list of greatest British sports people of all time.
I agree. For me,
Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think Sir Bobby Charlton.
Yeah.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is definitely in that list. I don't think.
Does any boxer get close to the list now?
Lennox Lewis?
No, the top five.
Oh, now. And, maybe Italma? Just the noise around Italma?
Yeah.
Like
AJ and Fury not in it.
Actually, it's probably still those two, isn't it?
Can you give me your top five, please? I think you're going all over the house.
Okay. Let's just do the bankers. Hodgkinson.
Banker.
Bellingham.
It's like just probably number one for me.
Kane.
Banker, that's three.
O'Sullivan.
Now? Has he won it? When's the last time he won a tournament?
Also, he's kind of in terms of a lifetime achievement award. He gets in in the way that Leonardo DiCaprio won the Oscar.
Yeah,
for the Revenant.
Yeah, when it wasn't his best film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good shout.
So O'Sullivan's in, and then maybe it's Tyson Fury.
Wow. So no Lewis Hamilton.
Boxing is more skilled than driving. Boxing is way more skilled than driving. Obviously. It's a fast car, in it. Like, this
is a very good debate. You're going for a debate I didn't expect. But it's a fast car, very fast.
No, it's driving a car.
No, mate. So one mistake, boom.
Yeah. What do you think happens to me in a boxing ring, mate? I'll be in big trouble. Listen, it's all very well talking about Formula One drivers, and I don't want to take anything away from them. I'm sure they're really good at what they do and they work hard and whatever, but ultimately it's a fast car. Boxing, you are on your own in a ring against a warrior who is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be a different breed. You are a different person. I can drive.
Yeah, I agree.
I can drive.
Yeah,
not very well, but I can drive. I'm not getting in a boxing ring.
Okay, yeah, you're right. What about other sports? Golf, Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, Rory can be in.
Yeah.
Rory.
1 second. You know there are only 5 spaces. Everyone can be in, it sounds like, on your thing. You know, we've mentioned like 10 athletes now.
It's hard though, isn't it? Okay, look, we've got the three. We've got the 3 bankers, haven't we? Hodgkinson is in, Kane is in, Bellingham is in, O'Sullivan is in.
And Josh Kerr.
It's either Josh Kerr.
You don't want Josh Kerr, and you don't want Josh
Tyson Fury. No, Josh Kerr's amazing, but I think Tyson Fury or AJ, but probably Fury. Fury captured a nation, captured a sport.
McIlroy just done the Grand Slam.
Put McIlroy in then.
All the Masters. That's your.
I say you contest it.
Okay.
I'm going Tyson Fury or AJ, but probably Tyson Fury.
All right, my list. Can I give you my list?
Okay. You're going to go all left field and hipster here, aren't you? Showing off.
I'm going Josh Kerr.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm going Keely Hodgkinson.
Yeah.
I'm going Luke Littler.
You're not going Luke Littler. You can't. Who are you leaving off to put Luke Littler in an athletics?
No one, but I think I might be seeing him on the weekend. So just I'm going Lewis Hamilton, and I'm going Jude.
Lewis Hamilton. So who are you leaving out?
I've left out Harry Kane.
Yeah,
and I've left out Italma. I've left out McIlroy.
You haven't put a boxer in?
No.
You haven't put a boxer in, but you've put Luke Littler in.
Luke Littler. I don't think anyone's dominating their sport in the world like he is.
No,
he's literally, and I think we forget how young he is. I know he looks a bit older than he is, but he's a kid.
No, but dominating,
he's a kid.
Dominating darts isn't the same as being a real. Like, Declan Rice isn't dominating football, but it's harder to be Declan Rice than Luke Littler. Declan Rice is a more impressive achievement than Luke Littler's. Every kid in the world plays football. He's up against every kid. Every kid dreams of being Declan Rice. Not every kid dreams of being Luke Littler.
You're just a bit jealous of this. All right, anyway, when we come back, best of talkSPORT.
get the big money coming in from the Middle Eastern state. It comes in and you think to yourself, this is us now. Yeah. We're rocking and rolling. We're going to be spending
and
this.
It hasn't happened that way.
Well, it can't happen like that because obviously because of the financial rules connected.
They put
to
a cap on it at the wrong time for them.
Right. So they kind of, they've got handcuffs. They've got all this dough, but they've got handcuffs and they can't do X, Y, and Z. But when players are going out for fees and stuff, then obviously that needs to be reinvested, and you need to obviously reinvest it wisely enough to be able to strengthen the side and be able to kick the side on. Eddie Howe's done a wonderful job getting them into the Champions League. They've won trophies now up there, doing absolutely fantastic stuff. Do you believe that there will be a point, maybe even now, maybe even it's before the season starts, is there a point now where he's thinking to himself, hang on a minute, this ain't for me, I'm going in a different direction?
Yeah, but because look, what players can they attract now? What players can they attract? You look at it, can they attract because they got the money, could they attract Diamande? Probably not. Could they attract even could they attract Rashford from Man United?
We're having this debate. It's not going to stop, is it? With this debate about the great British sports stars right now. We're going a bit worldwide of it. Sorry, a bit old school of it. It's like of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time. Like top 5 of all time.
Of all time, we go Sir Bobby Charlton, number 1. Number 2?
I don't know why is Sir Bobby Charlton number 1?
I think he has to be.
Why does he have to be?
I think about what he did for Manchester United. Think about he was on the Munich plane.
See what you've done here. You're trying to emotional heartstrings now. It's just unfair.
He's on the Munich plane.
I can't say anything now. You said that. You've done. Okay, number 1.
European Cup for Manchester United. Yeah. World Cup for England. Then stays as a director of Manchester United and helps them rediscover their former greatness and presides as a director over their most successful era ever.
All right. Nothing I can say. No.
So Bobby Charlton has to be number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2? Of all time. Jessica Ennis. She's up there, mate.
Laughing. You're making me laugh.
Jessica Ennis is top 5.
All right, we'll try and get this done before the end of the show, I promise.
She's top 5.
She's not top 5.
Jessica Ennis is top 5. Don't you remember that? She was unbelievable.
Top 5 of all time.
He was one of the
top 5 of all time. Yeah. Would you have heard of Andy Murray?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cancel Rory's talkSPORT passes on the way out, please, if you can. All right, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Oladipo, and Rory Jennings in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo still to come. We're going to be asking if it's time to boycott FIFA competitions. A lot being said from Gianni Infantino. We'll play that out a bit later. Just quickly, though, English football is set to implement a trial to try and eradicate the goalkeeper tactical timeout this season. Mickey van der Ven has said that Tottenham will play better football this season under Roberto De Zerbi. I agree with that. And we can get an update now from the Commonwealth Games. Watching for talkSPORT is John Cushion.
Well, 6 home nation medals at the gymnastics on day 4. A gold for England. Luke Whitehouse, the 4-time European floor champion, winning his first Commonwealth Games gold medal and his second medal of these games after a silver in the team. Reuben Ward, the first ever Scottish all-round men's champion, won silver in the pommel. Teammate Cameron Lynn getting the bronze, and Canadian Jordan Carroll won gold with a big score of 15.0. The Olympic champion, Rhys McClenaghan of Northern Ireland, in 6th. Abby Morgan won a silver in the vault. Abby Roper for Wales the bronze. And her sister Emily won bronze in the uneven bars. Tonight, 9 golds here at the Athletic Stadium at Scotstoun. World silver medalist Georgia Hunter-Bell goes in the first round of the 800 metres. And world and Olympic champion swimmer Matt Richards has never won a Commonwealth Games medal for Wales. He's looking to change that at these games. He was third fastest into the semis tonight at the men's 100 metres freestyle. Duncan Scott goes in the final of the 200 metres fly later, and Adam Ramsey-Peaty looks, of course, to try and get better than bronze in the 50-metre breaststroke. If you fancy being here, tickets are still available. Glasgow2026.com is the place to go. This is the Commonwealth Games, and it's live across the talkSPORT network.
Cheers, John. Thank you very much. All right, it's now time for this. Right, this is the best of talkSPORT and Friends, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across the talkSPORT network and our sister stations. Let's kick things off with Friday night sports bar. Ben Fletcher and Carlton Cole were discussing nature.
Well, Judi Dench, who just appeared on one of our screens here at talkSPORT Towers, she famously talks to trees and plants. And apparently there is a science behind it. Apparently the carbon dioxide that you breathe out, they breathe in.
Well, I believe, that they've got their own thing going on, trees.
Communication.
Yeah, because the roots and that, and the mud and the soil. I just reckon they've just got a conversation going that we can't hear.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Like Wi-Fi signals.
Yeah.
Just because you can't hear it doesn't mean it's
not there.
It must be.
Must be.
What sort of conversation would a tree have?
I don't know.
What's the?
How's your soil?
Mate, you know what it is, about that clip? I think Carlton's serious and Ben's obviously not. And Carlton's actually serious about this.
Carlton's having it. How's your soil?
I can't take Carlton sometimes, I swear.
So funny.
All right, would you ever speak to your plants?
Mate, it's funny what you become as you get a bit older, you know. I've started taking my garden really
take it serious, yeah.
I water it and all that, although not at the moment because there's a hosepipe ban. I would never do it. I abide by that hosepipe ban religiously.
Of course.
But
Very
I find myself in a garden centre now, and I do thoroughly enjoy it.
All right, would you? What's your favourite thing about nature? You've got quite a big garden.
Mate, I love it.
Do you really though?
Yeah. Look, I'm a city boy at heart, but no, don't get me wrong, I love it. Absolutely love it.
All right.
It's unrivaled.
There you go. A reminder that the sports bar returns tonight from 10 p.m. Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant.
Right, over to the Commonwealth Games now, and Greg Rutherford was in a bit of pain.
Alfie and Molly, thank you very much. So, whilst that was ongoing, Greg, who has obviously informed us that he is injury prone, is now going through cramp of his hamstring. So he is now standing in our studio, right?
I'm going to say I'm just standing for Jenna Forrester, just saying such a great performance. I'm just going to stand up and take that in for a minute. God, anybody's had cramp before, they'll feel my pain.
I completely agree with that.
100%.
Addy, what about you? You're always in the gym, right?
Yeah.
Did you get cramp?
Yeah, all the hamstrings, really bad hamstrings.
Really?
Really, really bad.
What, do they cramp up?
Yeah, badly.
It's grim. Out of all the people that you know, right, who's the most injury prone? Do you remember when me and you had a race and you actually pulled your hamstring?
And I still won. Why didn't you tell at the end of the story?
That's not
pulled a hamstring whilst racing Rory and still beat him in America. There's video footage. There's video footage of this.
Cheated, though.
Are you going to lie about this?
I'm not lying. It was a false start.
So beat you with a torn hamstring.
No, I think you feigned injury to try and make the victory look more impressive.
Yeah. Who's the most injury person? Probably Daniel Sturridge.
Dan Sturridge.
Yeah,
that's true. Now, a reminder that you can hear the Commonwealth Games live over on talkSPORT 2 from 7 p.m. tonight.
All right, let's finish today with The Breakfast Show. Andy Goldstein and Troy Deeney had a word. Is it for you, Mr. Rory?
Rory Jennings made a big thing about, adults wearing football shirts.
Yeah.
And then I saw some of the clubber he wore last week on it.
Oh, it's dreadful.
And I was like, maybe he should start wearing shirts. He should come in just Chelsea top.
He's clobber. He's terrible.
Yeah. But I don't have a problem with it, with people wearing jerseys. I really don't.
Any time of the day?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
All right, okay.
Do you have a response for that?
Wait, what's up with it? Does this get the Addy Oladipo seal of approval?
No.
Really?
Sorry, I know
it's
you
Monte Carlo.
Yeah, but you don't have to wear it.
It's a seal
you
of
just
Monte
carry a
Carlo
postcard around or a photo around.
Unbelievable.
Your clubber is a bit...
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm the best dressed man at talkSPORT.
Short shorts are really short. Can you stand up? Can I see your short shorts? Can you stand up? For those that are watching on YouTube, this is a treat for you. Look at this.
Not tall enough.
Yeah.
But no, shorts are supposed to be short, right? You're supposed to have short shorts. I don't understand this. Baggy shorts, Bermuda shorts. I think we should wear short shorts.
Can I ask you, honestly, personal question.
Tell me.
Do you think you're a good dressed?
Very well dressed.
Okay.
But, mate, you can't sit there in some sort of denim number trying to give it the big and about fashion.
No, I don't think I am.
Well, you seem to be. The implication is that you are.
I don't think I am. I just don't want you to think you are. Either. There you go. Put it on me again. There you go. Look at this.
Hey,
Fantastic.
You look fairly smart today.
There you go. Exactly. There you go. Pull it off today. Of course, you can find all our shows on the talkSPORT app, where you can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, and all of our sister stations, so you never miss a moment. Quickly, very, very quickly, before we go to the break, we're doing the top 5. We've dragged this on now. I think we should do a top 5 greatest ever British sports person, but every single, one from a sport.
One per sport. Okay.
Yeah, one per sport.
I'm on it.
Yeah,
I'm on it.
Joe Overall, our producer, can pick the sport. We will do one per sport, yeah?
Got it.
Okay, we'll do that. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Mr. Gianni Infantino.
It's boxing. I said it in the interview the other day. It's heavyweight boxing. He got caught by a fighter who's had 20 knockouts. Yes, albeit Prenga wasn't a hugely recognised name prior to that, but you don't get 20 knockouts, without being able to punch. And that's boxing. And the reality is, as AJ showed, it's getting back up from that and building your way back into the fight and finishing it the way he did. Did I expect that in the first round? No. But he showed his heart, his determination, and everything that's got him to this point in the sport.
Are you into boxing conspiracies?
No, I mean, is Simon Jordan under the desk somewhere?
He's on holiday this week, mate. But I've got his tweet here.
Well, yeah, you got Simon Jordan. You got the other guy.
Oh yeah, but Paulie Malignaggi was on a little earlier on as well. He said a very similar thing. So basically, Simon wrote on X. I'm sure people have seen this, that he wasn't having the fight and that something was not quite right, as it was designed to rinse the maximum amount of money. Do you agree?
I mean, did he confirm any more? Has he spoken about it verbally?
I've not personally spoken to him, mate. I don't like to put words in people's mouths off the back of social media. No, I've not spoken to him about it, mate. I'm just going off what he's written on social media.
From what he's written, what he's suggesting is
Monaco, Singapore, Las Vegas. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all F1 street circuits. 20 years ago, the sports only visited 3 a year. From 2026, there'll be 10, despite the actual racing often being worse. So why? Why are there so many street circuits? Cars racing past the Casino Monte Carlo is one of the iconic images in all of sport. But in the last few years, it's been joined in the Street Circuit Club by the dazzling Grand Prix on the Las Vegas Strip, in Miami, Azerbaijan and others. And there's no sign of the trend slowing down. The streets of Madrid have also gotten involved, and there are conversations about Grand Prix in the capitals of Thailand and Rwanda. But fitting them in means we said goodbye to classic circuits like Hockenheim and Imola, angering fans who are still packing out the European tracks like Spa, the Hungaroring and Monza. And these generally produce more wheel-to-wheel action than street circuits too. At Silverstone in 2025, there were a total of 26 on-track overtakes. At Monaco, 4. I'm an F1 enthusiast. Even I struggle with that. But it appears to be a good step. In 2025, there was a record 2.3 million strong viewership for the Monaco Grand Prix in the US alone. Meanwhile, for the British Grand Prix several weeks later, 1.5 million tuned in. So why are we seeing this drive towards street circuits? Well, no prizes for guessing. Money. Formula One demands a fee of between $20 and $60 million for the rights to even hold an event. In total, including sponsorships, it's believed officials in Saudi Arabia pay almost $100 million for their race. The huge fees are possible because of the street track's city centre locations, as people staying at hotels at inflated prices and tourist sites brimming with visitors mean the cities rake the cash back in when the race comes to town. So it makes financial sense for Formula One and the cities, but will it cost the sport in the long run if F1 races are too boring? After all, nothing beats the roar of an F1 car as it flies through the forests of Europe, or mechanics watching a storm coming across the humid Asian countryside. Take that away and well, you may as well just watch American IndyCar.
Good evening, you listen to Drive on talkSPORT. Andy Oladipo alongside Mr. Rory Jennings. Just gone 6 o'clock. Still to come, we are going to be discussing some of the latest transfer rumours doing the rounds. I've got the 5, by the way. I've got the 5 greatest sports stars from these shores of all time.
But only one per sport.
Yeah.
Is that the rule?
Yeah.
Only one per sport?
Yeah.
It's very difficult. That.
Lewis Hamilton.
Is he?
Was he won 8 world championships?
What?
8?
No, mate.
He's won 8.
Lewis Hamilton isn't in the top 5 sports people from this country of all time. Of course
he is.
Of course he isn't.
What are we doing? I'm looking at everyone in the gallery here for help.
I don't think people are backing you up. I don't think you have.
I don't think they are
the
either.
love and support of that. He's definitely.
Andy Murray's in.
Mate, you're terrible at this.
Sorry,
game.
1 second. If Andy Murray can win Grand Slams when Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer are around, you have to be in it. You have to be in it.
I'm talking about like prestige and legacy, like Sir Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Sir Bobby Charlton in.
I'll give you it.
Okay, who else?
Andy Murray.
No. Give me a moment to think about. No,
Andy Murray.
Absolutely not.
Not in.
Jessica Ennis-Hill would be in over Andy Murray.
Stop your nonsense.
Do you not remember London?
He's talking about, I'll do one night in London. I was there, Stratford.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Look, we can
very quickly. All right, very quickly. Martin Johnson or Johnny Wilkinson? If we're going rugby, which one out of those two?
I'd go Johnny Wilkinson.
So would I. Have you been watching his Instagram videos?
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
He gave the kick.
Yeah, incredible.
He gives you like juicy.
Yeah.
They're very interesting.
Yeah. All right, now though, enough of that. We're talking about this man.
Infantino says he's sorry that people consumed by hate missed the good moments of the World Cup.
And I was forced to call Johnny and just make a recommendation. I said, Johnny, I'd like to make a recommendation. Let the guy in the game. No, I didn't say that.
I mean, understand why people aren't happy with what they've just seen.
You have to give balance. You know, we can say we had a great time over there, but we can also point out some of the pitfalls and some of the FIFA made.
Smart, tough man, Johnny Infantino. He's a smart, tough man. And his stock has gone through the roof because the job he's done has been great.
Yeah, the World Cup may be over, but FIFA President Gianni Infantino is still making the headlines. He's taken to Instagram to back himself over the criticism he's received during the tournament, appearing to take aim at the world's media. He wrote the following: "To those behind their pens and papers, behind their screens, spreading hate and false rumours, I want to say that whilst you are sitting behind, we at FIFA are on the front lines, organising, working hard and delivering the best show in the world. Whilst you spread hatred, we work tirelessly to unite two countries at war. Iran entered the United States without incident or conflict." He said a lot more, but just on those parts, you almost feel like he's lost the plot a little bit, hasn't he?
I think what happens is when you are somebody like Infantino, you surround yourself with people who are sycophants. They'll tell you what you need to hear. You convince yourself that you are doing the right thing. You convince yourself that you are the cleverest person in every room that you're in. You actually lose sight of what it's supposed to be about. You actually lose sight of what the point of a World Cup is. And when football becomes secondary, there is a real problem. And that's what happened at this World Cup. This will forever be the World Cup. People can put a positive spin on it if they want. People can talk about the thrill of those group games, and they were great. You know, Cape Verde were amazing,
and
we will always have that story. Of course we will, but that's just football. What this World Cup will be remembered for is the World Cup where football
was secondary
to profit, to profit,
organisations, and to
exactly.
profit.
It's the World Cup that will forever be the World Cup that had the intrusion of the advert break midway through the halves.
Yeah.
It's the World Cup that will forever go down as the most expensive and unaffordable World Cup of all time. It's the World Cup where we had a half time to accommodate more brands, more advertising, and almost most scornfully towards this World Cup. It's the World Cup where the rules were bent.
Yeah.
Where you were allowed to play a player who was suspended in order to a phone call from the president.
What player are you referring to?
Balogun.
Okay.
Balogun, Ronaldo early on.
Yeah, but to say you could go back to Ronaldo early on being allowed to play, but the Balogun one.
Balogun.
And the worst thing is you then had the president in Donald Trump who openly admitted the conversation.
Yeah. I think
he made the phone call to Infantino to get this one
sort of.
That is the very definition of something being bent. Somebody powerful gets on the blower and puts it right. That is what this World Cup will be remembered for. I don't think it will go down in history as one of the best. I think it will go down in history as one of the worst finals I've ever seen. I would say beyond the last 8.
You're being harsh here. Some of the games were fantastic.
Yeah, beyond the last 8 they weren't.
Okay, yeah.
Beyond the last
almost
8.
Formalities going into that.
Yeah, but I think, look, the group stages were incredible. The group stages were incredible. This World Cup gave me one of the best nights of my life in Mexico. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that there were brilliant moments. I think, like you say, Curacao, Cape Verde, they will go down in history. But what Infantino did is unforgivable. Changing calling it 4 quarters to pretend that we need a hydration break when we're playing in air-conditioned stadiums. Call it what it is. It's an advert break. It's to extract as much money out of the game as possible. And I think the ticket prices were a disgrace.
Isn't that, like when you think of some of the things that you've sort of brought up here, ticket prices, I mean, that's something that's filtered its way into the Premier League. Ticket prices in the Premier League are horrendous.
But not to this level.
No, not to this level, but I almost feel like it's coming.
Yeah, I think it is.
Coming.
There is an Americanization of football in this country.
Well, 100%. I mean, look how many owners have. How many owners in the Premier League now?
Yeah, nearly half.
And once it gets to nearly half, they can then almost, run the roost and do whatever they want. I almost feel like what we saw at the World Cup is a sign of things to come forever.
Yeah, I would like to think that the hydration break, for example, will go down in the ash heap of history now and will never ever be seen again. We will never ever see a hydration break.
Do you think the players liked it?
No, I don't. I think the players, look, we're very fortunate in our line of work, Addy. We get to talk to footballers. And I remember talking, look, I spoke to Jason Cundy, I spoke to Jamie O'Hara. They both said it's ridiculous. They both said they wouldn't want that. It's very difficult. I remember Jermaine Pennant was on talkSPORT, actually. He said that it's going to be very difficult to keep those players' legs moving. It's not going to be easy to have those
stop, start.
You have a half-time interval is obviously 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes because that's what history says. And I think that you can pollute the game in various ways, but I thought some things were sacred. The length of a half is sacred. You don't break it into quarters.
Agreed.
The length of a half-time is sacred. You don't elongate it to accommodate some nonsense band that no one's heard of and nobody in the stadium actually wants to see, inflicting this rubbish music and rubbish performance on football fans around the world. Like, I don't know who Bad Bunny is, and I don't particularly care. Why am I being inflicted on this when I want to watch? If I want to see whoever Bad Bunny is,
you'll then go and see
I'll go and see him at Wembley or Tottenham or wherever he plays when he's in London. I don't need to see that at World Cup.
Yeah, the Americanization of the game is crazy considering it's the biggest watched game in the world. Why would you try and sort of add elements of the NFL and the NBA to the game that they should almost try and add elements from their game from us? Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
they should almost look at football and think, okay, how do they get so many fans? How do people not the other way around?
It's when people completely miss the point. When people go, if I complain about ticket prices, and I was the 20s Plenty campaign that ultimately resulted in £30 away tickets, which was a victory for football. You'll get people kind of going, well, if it was an NBA game, you have to pay more than that. I'm like, yeah, but that's your sport, that's your culture. Sport in this country, dedicating your life, dedicating your time, dedicating your income, your disposable income to following your team up and down the country, away from home in Europe. That is very much football in this country.
I think the biggest danger coming off the back of the World Cup, and look, I was out there for sort of 5.5, 6 weeks, is that in America, and again, it's creeping to here now, it's no longer a working class sport.
Oh, I think those days are completely gone. I mean, the amount of money. The amount of money, yeah. I mean, and what UEFA have done, what FIFA has done, what I thought was appalling. A lot of my friends are they have a lot of caps. They're part of the England Supporters Club, the official thing, and they get a lot of caps. What you had to do, which is such a disgrace, is you had to buy your tickets up front. You had to pay all the way to the final as if you get to the final. So every nation, they had to do this. So if you support Spain, France, Argentina, Brazil, whatever, you all pay as if you get to the final.
Wow.
And then what happens is you get eliminated and you get your money back, minus a 15% handling fee. And you're like, hang on, this is a racket. This is Al Capone levels of racketeering. How is this happening in what is, in theory, the beautiful game? In theory, a game that is for the people. You've got the people who obviously can't afford to go. It's impossible. It's not like there are people that I consider to be very wealthy who can't drop £10,000 on a football team.
So just to be clear on that, so they
obviously, if you then sell your tickets to FIFA, the ones obviously, look, if you're England, you don't get to the final, you sell your tickets to FIFA, they take 15%.
Well, you pay as if you get to the final.
Yeah.
Whenever you go out, you get your money back. But you've had to give that money up front.
And they take a 15% handling fee.
Exactly.
And then when they then sell the tickets to, let's
They do
say,
the same again.
Argentina, they then make 15% on. That's
it's unbelievable. And Infantino trying to present himself as something other than something. He's trying to present himself as if he is above criticism. He's trying to suggest that those who criticise, and look, I don't particularly care about Infantino. I don't particularly care about FIFA. I love football. I loved watching the World Cup, and there were some brilliant moments in it. But him trying to present anyone who has a legitimate concern about the direction of travel in football, him trying to present anyone who wants to have a discussion about the way that they were trying to extract as much money from the game as possible, or the fact that players got to play who were banned or whatever, him trying to present people that have those legitimate criticisms as being haters, to borrow a term from Kim Kardashian, I just think it's absurd. Like, people are allowed to criticise, and it isn't unfounded criticism.
What's scary, though, about this position is I remember when Sepp Blatter was, remember that comedian that threw the money over him?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah,
amazing.
Lee Nelson, he wasn't Lee, he had a character called Lee Nelson.
And you felt like, okay, Infantino coming in might be able to clear up a few things that we thought that Sepp Blatter was involved in.
Yeah.
Clearly not. It's almost like a position that as soon as you get in, it poisons you.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you go in there with those type of thoughts and ideas anyway, it kind of just makes them bigger.
I think there is an element of that. That, you know, that old quote about power corrupting and absolute power corrupting absolutely or whatever. I think there is an element of that.
It's become one of the most powerful positions in the world.
Well, look, the fact that he's got a direct line
to Donald Trump,
I think it tells you what happens. But those, you know, the craziest thing about it as well, they didn't even pay us the courtesy of lying to us. They just told us, yeah, the president wanted him to play, so he played.
That's scary.
The president wanted.
We could just do exactly the same thing then, and that didn't get held.
Well, do you know what should have happened? Really, I was quite glad that Belgium put America to the sword, and it was a shame because I quite liked America.
I almost wanted Belgium to boycott the game.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah,
make a bigger statement.
Yeah.
I think that's what probably should have happened. But you know what would have happened? America would have just progressed, and the world would have kept turning.
100%.
They would have loved that.
Yeah,
they would have loved that. Suddenly they would have been in what, the quarterfinals. So it wouldn't have actually worked. I think Belgium did the right thing. But it was a shame because I always like the host nations to do well. I think the World Cups are generally better. You think of 2002 when South Korea did really well. You think of Russia, they did really well. I think the host nation doing well is good for the furtherance of the tournament, the vibes around the tournament. So I wanted the USA to do well, and I think they were good. I watched them play Australia.
It almost became USA against the world.
Well, I wanted them to get beat.
Everyone wanted
them for that day, to borrow a phrase from Infantino, today I'm Belgian. Like, I really wanted them to win. But no, I think it's a problem. I think it is a problem for everyone who follows football. I think it's a problem for particularly people who want to go to football. These FIFA tournaments, like, what is going to happen? Like, you look at where the next World Cup is. You've got a game in Uruguay. You've got a game in Uruguay. You've got it over 3 countries in 3 different continents. The whole process is about extracting money, isn't it?
And it's working. All right, we're going to take your calls on this one. Is it time? And it's a simple question, but it's a difficult one. Is it time to boycott FIFA competitions? Do we need to almost see a breakaway tournament? And will the big nations follow the breakaway tournament? I guess that's the biggest discussion point. 03717 22 3344. Up next, we're going to tell you about a new rule being trialled across all of English football this season. So don't go anywhere. This is Drive on talkSPORT.
I don't know if you've seen Simon Jordan's tweets. We know Simon Jordan loves his boxing. He's very knowledgeable on boxing as well. But he wrote a tweet after the fight. A lot of people agreed with him as well. He said, I'm not having that. Dropped twice, sets the tempo. How's that? Praying a totally different second round. Something not quite right. All designed to rinse maximum amount of money. Firstly, were you aware of that tweet?
Yes, I was, mate. I spoke to Simon about it after, actually.
Okay, well, what did he say? What did you say? How did that conversation pan out?
Well, so the conversation went like he said, like I said live on the live comms, the way that, so if you know as a fighter, it's instinctive. He had Anthony Joshua hurt after 20 seconds. Joshua barely got through the round. He survived. He walked back to the corner on his heels. He walked out for the second round, with the legs still very wary as well, very dodgy as well. And as a fighter, Christian Prenga then instinctively should jump on him and know the history of Anthony Joshua and how it takes him a while to recover, and jump on him and say, right, this is my big opportunity. This is my ticket into the big time. No one knows who I am, but everyone's going to know it's going to be one of the biggest shocks in heavyweight boxing history. And he didn't. It was a very strange,
didn't he?
Tactics, because I think he was actually waiting for that big shot. He was waiting. He saw that Joshua was coming forward and he was making fundamental mistakes when he was.
My ears just came out unplugged. This is live radio, so this is what happens. You listen to Drive on talkSPORT, Adi Oladipo and Rory Jennings in partnership with Giacomo, Style and Brands for every single man. Still to come, we're going to be discussing some of the latest transfer rumours doing the rounds. But now the coverage of the Commonwealth Games with Natalie Sawyer alongside 2012 Olympic long jump champion Greg Rutherford, is he coming? There he is. There's Greg. There he is.
I keep forgetting how
there he is.
that door is.
Wait, well, look at the size. Look at the size. Look at the guns on the man. And he's talking about.
It's great to meet you. How are you?
How are you, sir? How are you? Good.
Right. Good. Yes.
Important question.
Go on.
Was it the hamstring or the groin? And how are you? What was cramping? This is important stuff. Hammy.
It's the story of my life, honestly. The hamstring issues. I've had in excess of about 40 hamstring tears in my career.
What?
So yeah, that was predominantly in the first half of it. But for whatever reason, if I get a cramp, it's still always the hamstrings. Drives me nuts.
Was it because when I think of your event, it's speed, then it's just bang, impact.
Yeah.
Is it that? It's just that over the years, just the training?
I mean, I'm definitely battered now. Like, I'm about to turn 40 this year, and
you look good, Greg.
Well, I don't know about. I appreciate that. I'm going to come in here daily if nobody else says that. But it is one of those where, and professional sports, like, it just batters you over time.
Yeah.
Like, no way of getting away from it, is it? Like, it is what it is. So here we are.
We're having a debate. Well, it's a conversation, but me and Rory, it turns into debate for some reason. And we were saying top 5 British sports stars of all time.
Okay.
If you have to nominate one from athletics,
okay,
who are you taking from athletics to represent the sports stars?
That is a tough one because we've had some absolute,
mate. That's some giants,
icons, ridiculous
icons. I can think of like 20 off the top of my head.
Yeah. It's easy.
Can I just ask you something?
No.
I just want Greg's thoughts because you dismissed my suggestion readily.
No, I didn't dismiss. I just thought there was someone above.
I've got a name, so
okay.
What I'll do is I'll write it quickly.
You write your name down, and we'll see if it chimes with anything that we've said. What I wouldn't mind your opinion on here, Greg. I suggested to Addy, Jessica Ennis deserves some acknowledgement here.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. 1 second. You said she's number one. You didn't say some acknowledgement.
Okay, I put Jessica Ennis forward. Addy didn't seem particularly impressed. How far wide of the mark? I think I'm right here. What she did in London, it was unbelievable.
You're going to tweet in the show now. You're being wrong.
Look, Jess was where it was really special for Jess, I think, in London, is the fact that she had so much more pressure than anybody else. I mean, like, nobody even knew I was in the competition, for example. Like, Mo had a lot of pressure as well, but Jess, for any of you who went to Stratford, the Olympic Park, she had this dirty, great picture of her on the side of one of the big high-rises next to Stratford, next to the Olympic Park. And I mean, for her to have all of that pressure and still become a champion is really, really special. But
I was
about to laugh at you, Andy. That's a real shame.
And I think Jess would not mind me saying this at all. If we look back through certain stories, I mean, 2 names that
come to mind. So I think what Kelly Holmes did in 04 to win an 8 and 15 at the same games, beating Matola and like doing what she did was unreal. But
he's good at this.
Okay, this is great. Yeah, mate. Storyteller.
There is one name and one athlete that probably, as a character as well, is unlike anybody we've ever had, and that's Daley Thompson. And Daley wins the decathlon twice, and we are talking probably the most difficult event at the definitely for the track and field Olympics, because 10 events. You have to, and bear in mind as well, he's a 10-2 sprinter, 8:20 plus long jump.
Is that what it was, a 10-2 sprinter?
Oh yeah, and faster as well. I mean, windy, I think he ran quicker as well. I mean, it's like he was unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, his high jump was remarkable. His throws were. I mean, he literally could put together as good a deck in that time as you possibly could. So as a British athlete,
Daley Thompson,
I think it has to be. Daley.
Kind of met him once, you know. Think about it. You make one mistake.
Yeah.
Forget the other 9 events. It's done.
It's done. And it happens.
Okay, so Daley Thompson. So you were wrong as well. That's very important to me.
Yeah, see, Kelly's up there definitely. The thing is,
let me give her a correct.
But ultimately, what you're saying is Addy was also wrong. Very important to me. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, but then of course that's open for interpretation, isn't it? I mean, other people might say it's not Daley. It might think it's somebody else. Mo Farah has to have a massive shout as well, because thing is with what Mo did, as much as Mo didn't break world records, to continuously win at the Olympics at the 5 and 10 and come back and just keep doing it, that within itself is also remarkable. So I'd say him and Kelly. The problem is now I'm leaning a little bit towards Mo, but no, I'm going to stick with Daley because I just think with the deck, so much can go wrong. And as just the ultimate athlete as well, Daley was just out of this world. And still, when you meet him to this day, he'll still tell you he could beat you.
You need your own athletics show on talkSPORT. I feel like, you know why? Because I feel like I'm a big athletics fan, and I feel like it's a sport over the last sort of 10 years. It's not died down a little bit, because I think the likes of Noah Lyles is bringing it back to the fore, but it has gone a bit quiet. I used to watch it, and like 3As were on BBC. And now it's almost behind the BBC iPlayer wall. You don't really see as much anymore.
It's changed a lot, sadly.
And then the athletes like Amy Hunt that's coming through. She's in action, I believe. Is it tonight, Amy?
Yeah, she's in tonight. Yeah, so we've got quite a good start. I think we've got 9 medals available in the athletics tonight. Same in the swimming as well, actually, which me and Nat will be talking about from 7 o'clock. It's going to be... I've been having to write everything down. So, we've got Georgia Hunter-Bell. She's got the 8. She starts that. She's heat 3. Which will be a really good one. In the 110, Sam Bennett was the fastest qualifier, so 110-metre hurdles for England. So that will be quite exciting. That is the final tonight as well. And then again, we've got multiple things going on with the 100 heats this morning as well, both men and women's. And that was quite exciting. A few 10-0s, which means we'll start seeing some sub-10s into the next rounds. And we've got a few people in that as well. I think Elliot Jones for England was one of the fastest from the home nations, running 10:07. So it's starting to heat up a little bit. I mean, I think with every major like this, and I'm not being biased, once the athletics starts, I think it really...
Same with the Olympics. That's what it feels like.
But I hate saying it because it's not taking away from any of the other sports. And swimming, I think, swimming, gymnastics and athletics, I think, are probably the 3 biggest that people would know of some of the names within it. But with the athletics, I guess it's the history that comes with it from sort of ancient Greek times and everything else. A lot of the events are really similar. And that's why I think it's exciting. So, I say 9 medals on offer tonight in the athletics, 9 in the swimming. I think we've had 5 in gymnastics already today, and we've had some good stories coming from that from the home nation.
What have you made, very quickly, Greg, what have you made of the Commonwealth Games so far?
Well, I think they're a brilliant thing. As something to bring through young athletes, it is a fantastic championships. And it's an opportunity to compete for your home nations, which you never really get. Yeah. We compete for Team GB, so we're all together. Now you have friends that become foes and arch enemies because you want to win. If you compete for Scotland, Junior English, whatever it might be, it makes it that little bit more exciting. And again, it is something that we don't get to do very often, once every 4 years. And as I say, these young athletes that are coming through, we're going to see names that will be in the forefront of the Olympics over the next 2 or 3 games who are starting here. And I think that's a really exciting thing. And there's just brilliant stories that come out of it.
Always is. Greg, appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll be live over on talkSPORT 2 from 7 o'clock this evening as we do continue our coverage of the Commonwealth Games, and the athletics, as you mentioned, gets underway tonight as well. All right, still to come, we're going to be discussing some of the latest transfer rumours doing the rounds. But first, it's time for No Googling. All right, we want to know which goalkeeper has the most assists in Premier League history. Tough one. Which goalkeeper has the most... Guess?
Alisson.
Good guess. Good guess. I would hate for that to be right because that would end it.
Is it right?
No, it's not right. It's not right. Yes, Greg?
Petr Cech.
Good guess as well, but wrong answers. Answer when we come back.
Good morning, lads. Yes, very, very good. About Joshua.
Go on, mate.
The final weekend, I didn't even bother to watch it. It's farce, isn't it? And as for him and Fury, I tell you, if they was fighting in my back garden, I'd draw the curtains.
Oh, wow. Oh, come on, man.
Come on, you're better than that.
Are you telling me you wouldn't even have a peek through those curtains? Just a little look?
He drew the curtains.
I'd say it was them two idiots out there and close them tight. Can't be doing with it. Anthony Joshua, he's done what he's done, but let's face it, he's no world beater, is he? He went down like a pot of jelly against that little fat Mexican. And, you know, whenever he steps up, he won the title against the worst champion ever in Charles Martin. Now, come on, you know, he fought an aging Klitschko, right? Whenever he steps up, he gets knocked out by Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois gets scored. I went to see Joshua against the champion, you know, what's his name, Usyk, at White Hart Lane. And Usyk absolutely schooled him. And, you know, we're looking at two fights.
Yeah, but Usyk does that with everyone, Al. Usyk is the best of this generation. He does that with everybody.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's been in the most amount of heavyweight world title fights of this generation, mate.
Yes, but poor world title fights.
But he can only do what's put in front of him. I mean, this generation hasn't been the generation of the 1990s or the 1970s, has it?
No, you're 100% right. He can only do what's put in front of him. They put Tyson Fury in front of him 7-8 years ago, and Eddie Hearn turned it down, didn't want to know.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Good evening, just gone 6:30. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Adi Oladipo alongside Rory Jennings. A few moments ago, we brought you the final no Googling question of the evening. We asked, which goalkeeper has the most assists in Premier League history? The answer is not Alisson.
Okay.
The answer is not Petr Cech. I think it's obvious now. If it's not those two, it's obvious.
Edison.
There you go.
Should have gone with Edison early, actually.
That was a guess, right? You didn't. No one told you.
No, nobody told me. Cool. You said it was obvious.
It was obvious, wasn't it? All right, English football will implement a trial to try and eradicate the goalkeeper's tactical timeouts this season. If a referee signals that the physio can come on and treat a goalkeeper, the coach will have 10 seconds to nominate another player to leave the pitch for 1 minute, telling the fourth official of their choice. If no player has been selected within 10 seconds, the captain must leave the field. What do you make of this? I feel like football's just getting a bit too...
Yeah, there's too much going on, but I do think something needs to be done. I do think that the gamesmanship, the gamesmanship is going a little bit too far. You know, when you see those ball in play stats, they are quite shocking. They are quite shocking. So something needs to be done.
55, 60 minutes, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, and I also believe that goalkeepers are like the most overprotected species in the world.
Yeah.
Like if a goalkeeper goes down under any sort of challenge, it seems.
Emi Martinez did it in the World Cup final.
Yeah, he did.
Fine, just jumped up.
Yeah, he
jumped
did.
up and carried on.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So I kind of appreciate this one. I think something needs to be done. I'm glad it's being looked at. Whether this is the right solution, time will tell.
I think it will be. I bet. I wait to see how it works in terms of how many goalkeepers don't go down.
Yeah. Well, if that is the outcome,
then it wins.
Then it's successful. Then the rule is successful because the point of the rule is a deterrent.
And it will be.
Don't cheat. Don't go down if you're not injured. Because if you do that, your captain ultimately is going to have to go off.
Yeah, it's crazy times. But look, that's going to be implemented in English football start of this season. All right, it's now time to look at the summer transfer window with Giacomo.
A good fit on talkSPORT with Giacomo. Style and brands for every man.
I don't know what to say about this one. We are going to start with Chelsea. It's not funny, but I can't wait for your reaction. talkSPORT understands that they're leading the race to sign Jordan Henderson, who can leave Brentford on a free this summer. Now, according to your little dialogue there about Danny Welbeck, this is exactly the type of player you need in the dressing room. This is it. This is it.
Yeah, I don't think we need a dressing room full of it, though.
We need more than one.
No, I don't think you need to sign the England team of 2018. No, I don't think that's what we need to do. I think what we need to do is bring in some standards for sure. I don't think Jordan Henderson is the right answer. I quite like Henderson. I don't necessarily rate him, but I quite like him. And I think what he did for Liverpool was he was an integral part of their success. He was an integral part of everything that Jurgen Klopp built.
This is Xabi Alonso clearly saying to the world that I have a problem with the Chelsea dressing room.
Yeah, there is
clearly,
they're a very unruly bunch. There is a look. We've had a transfer strategy over the past 4 years where we've bought nothing but young, unproven footballers. That something needs to change. You need to equalise it. So I do understand what Xabi Alonso's problem is. I do understand why he's thinking about a way of resolving this. I would argue that Jordan Henderson isn't quite the answer. Like, you know, when it was Granit Xhaka.
Makes it more sense.
That made more sense to me.
Still,
that made more sense to me. Granit Xhaka's still a good player, still a player that can do a job. I'm not convinced that Jordan Henderson is the answer. I'm not convinced that he's ready to play at this level. The fact that we're linked with him is minorly troubling.
Yeah, the fact that Brentford, according to what we know, haven't even offered him a new contract yet. Chelsea could, I guess, is troubling as well. All right, let's move on to one of the best midfielders, if not the best midfielder in the world, Rodri. Real Madrid are still working on an offer for him. Meanwhile, PSG have ruled themselves out of signing the midfielder from Man City. He is still fantastic.
Rodri is...
I don't know how he's still there, considering the injuries he's had in the last sort of 12 to 18 months, but he showed he's still the best midfielder.
I was a little bit cynical about Rodri winning a Ballon d'Or that year. I was a little bit cynical. I felt like it should have maybe gone to Erling Haaland, maybe should have gone to Vinicius Jr. I'm probably wrong with that. I think he's proved now that he is integral to everything good that any team that he is part of does. He is the key player. And sometimes you have a situation, don't you, where a player's absence actually demonstrates quite how brilliant they are. I remember this was true with Claude Makélélé. When Claude Makélélé came to Chelsea, Chelsea won our first title for 50 years, and Real Madrid went to pot. Suddenly, Real Madrid, who had their Galactico era, they didn't have Claude Makélélé anymore, and it went wrong. He leaves, it goes wrong. He lands at Chelsea. Chelsea win the league. It's not a coincidence, and I think Rodri has proved that again. Rodri, when he's in good form, Manchester City win a league, they win a treble, they win They win everything that they set out to do. He's in the Spain team and he's on form. They win. You look at what happened. Like, I think Declan Rice is an amazing player. I really do, and it's annoying quite how good he is, because I actually quite like him, which doesn't come naturally to me with regard to Arsenal players. But you know, when he was up against Rodri in the League Cup final. He came up against Rodri in the League Cup final, and I suddenly realised again, Manchester City won that game. They won that game because they bossed the midfield. O'Reilly goes down in folklore, but Rodri wins the midfield battle, and he's outnumbered in there. But he wins the midfield battle against Declan Rice.
Good.
I'm surprised that this one will happen, though, only because I find that Florentino Perez quite a fascinating character. And you know, when he was like running for election, the other guy, I forget his name, that was running for election as well, said Rodri is going to be his signing.
He did.
So I thought that Florentino Perez, just being cynical and being almost petty, would not want Rodri because he was the other guy's guy.
I think Mourinho's gone in there and he's looked at it and... Obviously, look, Jude Bellingham.
Everything that Real Madrid and Mourinho want.
100%.
He is the answer to
He is the literal
Mourinho
answer.
would love
Give
him.
everything. He doesn't want... He obviously, he wants Jude, but Camavinga, Tchouaméni, no, he wants Rodri. He wants Rodri.
It makes sense to me, the transfer. Like, if Rodri is ever going to play for Real Madrid, and he feels like such a Real Madrid player, he's an unbelievable footballer.
I think he's insane.
If he is ever to make that move, it kind of has to be now. He's 30 years old.
Yeah, I think... And it's a slower league. He will dominate that league.
Oh, he'll dominate.
Him and Jude in the midfield, by the way. Good luck.
Yeah, with Mourinho,
Mourinho
bossing them. Yeah, there will be a
by the way,
force, Champions League force.
What it means for Maresca at City, though?
Well, I mean, they've just bought in Elliot Anderson.
Who?
They've bought in Elliot Anderson.
I'm going to use your line. Don't play the same sport as Rodri.
No, I agree with that. I agree. But they will be looking to rejuvenate, maybe reinvigorate and refresh their midfield.
Yeah, fair.
And they've got decent value out of Rodri, haven't they?
No, yeah,
but he is amazing. Like, look at what he did in that Spain midfield, him and Fabian Ruiz.
I spoke to a Spanish journalist about that, and they said it's always for them been Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. Like, whatever Spanish midfield, that's the three. They said Rodri's better than Busquets. That's the biggest compliment they can give him.
I think the crazy thing is now, it's not even a weird conversation.
No.
It's not a weird conversation.
He's sensational.
Yeah. Well, he's so integral to his team winning games. He actually affects the results of the games that he's in.
Okay, question. Is he the best Premier League midfielder of all time?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's now rightfully mentioned alongside them, though. Whether you think it's... I know they play the game in a very different way, but whether you think it's Lampard or Gerrard or De Bruyne or Vieira, Keane, I think it's now all Rodri. I think Rodri is now part of that. He's probably in contention with Keane, Kante, Makelele, because he's slightly deep.
He's better than all of them.
Do you think he's better than Kante?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah, no, yeah, I do.
But just think about how good Kante was. Is Rodri actually better than Kante?
Rodri won the Ballon d'Or.
No, yeah,
he's won the Ballon d'Or. He scored the winning goal for Man City in the Champions League final, their first Champions League. When he doesn't play, I remember there was on that run of him playing and them not losing, just constant. As soon as he doesn't play,
do you think he's actually a better player than say Patrick Vieira? Do you think he's actually overall a better footballer?
I actually do.
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not like, but then I'd even go for players that don't really get the. Is he a better player than Fabregas?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Just if you're doing a midfield and you had a choice of Rodri or Fabregas, are you actually picking Rodri over Fabregas? Sure, I am. You know.
No.
Fabregas, unreal.
Stop it.
Vision.
Yeah.
See, I think this represents our characters. I like the aesthetic beauty of Fabregas. You like the rugged quality.
I want the brute, rugged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't really represent us, though, does it?
Yeah. I think it might.
I call you aesthetic and me brute.
I'll go with that. It's quite complimentary to me.
Let's move on to Liverpool very quickly. Federico Chiesa is hoping to be given a fresh start under Andoni Iraola, having started just one Premier League game in 2 seasons under his predecessor on the slot. By the way, Chiesa's 28.
It's now or never, isn't it? With his career at Liverpool, it's literally now or never.
It's never. He almost became a cult figure for Liverpool fans last season.
He scored big goals, didn't he?
Scored big goal.
He scored big goal. Yeah, he scored
a big goal.
Scored a massive goal.
Yeah, get rid of the plural there. Yeah. Big goal he scored.
Yeah, I'm surprised that
he's not good enough for Liverpool. And it's the injuries.
Do you remember the Euros of 2021?
Yeah. Over here.
Yeah.
Where he was just frightening.
Unplayable.
Yeah. They look like one of the best prospects in world football.
Yeah. It's so sad what's happened to Italian football. It really is. Like, when I was young, Italian football was a dream. It was the pinnacle. All of those glorious Italian footballers that played in that very similar position. Totti, Del Piero, Baggio, Zola, that just behind the front. Where are they? Like, that was just a given.
It's quite scary how that
it's
just
horrible.
happens.
It's horrible. Like, there was a time when the best footballers in the world were all playing their trade in Serie A.
To not see Islet the World Cup.
How many tournaments in a row?
Crazy. And that's why they're desperate now.
They lost to Bosnia, didn't they?
Pep, aren't they?
I don't think that can happen.
That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen.
No.
The greatest Spanish manager of all time shouldn't manage the Italian national team. It's a disgrace.
No, I agree.
It's a disgrace.
It's weird. Like hearing you say that, it kind of. I don't know if that actually makes you feel better about my opinions on Thomas Tuchel.
No.
Because generally I disagree with you, but I'm completely in line with it.
Like if I'm Italian, I'm like, why is Ancelotti managing the Brazilians when we need him?
How's it not Ancelotti?
Yeah.
I know. And they're not going for Pirlo now. It felt like that one was a tap-in. They're not going for him.
Mate.
Yeah, I know. It's sad, but I look forward to seeing the renaissance of Italian football.
Agreed. Agreed. Can't agree more. All right, John Stones. Let's finish off with him very quickly.
Get him
He's
to Chelsea.
In talks of Inter Milan, though, over a potential 2-year contract. I think.
I mean, it would suit him down to the ground, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would suit him down to the ground.
It's just slow, isn't it?
He would be such a good player there. You can see why. You know, when you're John Stones,
surprisingly good or better than I thought he would be at the World Cup.
I think John Stones has now become one of the greatest Premier. I think you have to put him in that conversation. I think you have to start putting John Stones. He is, Addy. He is. Look at what he's done with England. Is it 2 finals, 2 semi-finals? That's what he's done with England. 2 semi-finals at World Cups, 2 finals at Euros. That's what John Stones has done. He's won a treble.
You're trying to say like one of the best centre-backs we've ever seen.
I'm saying that now you have to start putting John Stones into the John Terry, Virgil van Dijk, Rio Ferdinand. He's 100% that.
Do not. He's in a bracket below that.
No, he isn't.
He's a bracket below
Do you ever listen to Paul Scholes' Nicky Butts podcast?
Go on.
No, I'm just saying.
No, go on.
They love.
Because they do say some crazy stuff.
Paul Scholes.
Is that the Paul Scholes that told you Garnacho was going to be a great signing for Chelsea?
If you're going to be snide about
the same Paul Scholes.
If you're going to be snide about my opinion, I just want to say that one of the greatest English midfielders ever, Paul Scholes, agrees with me.
What did he say?
He said that John Stones is one of the best to have ever done it.
Yeah,
one
of
the
top 10.
No, but I think now seriously comparable to. I think I can say this: is John Stones better than Rio Ferdinand? I don't think that's wild. I don't think you.
What are we doing?
John Stones. I don't know why we don't.
Is he better than John Terry?
No, but Terry's leaps and bounds above Ferdinand.
No, he's not leaps and bounds.
Terry's on his own.
I'm not doing this.
Terry's obviously leaps
quarter to 7, 10 minutes before the show ends. I'm not doing this with you.
No, you can't.
I'm not doing this with you.
Terry is obviously number one. Terry's in leaps and bounds above anyone. Then we have a conversation about who's next, and then we go Ferdinand, Virgil van Dijk.
1 second. You think John Stones is even in the same league as Virgil van Dijk?
Yeah, I do. I think he's better than Virgil van Dijk. 100%. Yeah, I do.
All right, that was all thanks to Giacomo. Giacomo offers a full range of sizes from small to 5XL.
A good fit on talkSPORT with Giacomo. Style and brands for every man.
Can't do this with you, Rory.
I don't think there's anything particularly.
You know there is. You know there is something particularly controversial.
You think that there is a chasm between John Stones and Virgil van Dijk?
No. Sorry, what do you mean?
You think there's a chasm between them?
Oh, between John Stones and
yeah. In what direction?
Virgil, obviously the chasm's bigger for Virgil van Dijk.
Oh right, no, because I agree that there's a chasm.
Virgil van Dijk's at the top, and John Stones is. John Stones is a very good top 10 Premier League centre.
John Stones is a better player than Virgil van Dijk. If you can sign either of those players when they're 28, you're signing John Stones. 100%.
There is absolutely nobody that
John Stones was integral to a treble
on this earth would agree with.
If Manchester City wanted Virgil van Dijk, they would have bought him.
Wow.
They had John Stones. They didn't want him.
Okay, well, tomorrow from 4 o'clock on Drive, we will begin this conversation and we'll end the conversation as well because we're going to get Virgil van Dijk. No, Up next, it's the end of show quiz.
The Vinny Jr. situation is interesting because I think when it came out of the weekend that Arsenal were keen, we all thought, well, how can they do that deal? He's on 400 grand a week. He'd smash Arsenal's pay structure. Yeah. Real Madrid, even though he's stalling on signing a new contract, are going to want a 6-figure sum. But if they sign Diamonde, as looks likely, how do the two fit into the same team? And I think what's really interesting here, and Ben Jacobs, I think, has mentioned this a couple of times, they've got the same agent, Vinicius Jr. and Jan Diamonde. So would his agency take Diamonde to Real Madrid knowing that he's going to compete with Vinicius Jr.? I don't think Vinicius Jr. to Arsenal is as fanciful as maybe it first appeared.
Now, when you look at Arsenal, they probably will. They've just got rid of Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard's gone.
Trossard's gone. So that's a space need, and they've only got Martinelli on that left hand side. So they do need somebody else. Who is that person that's going to be able to fill in that space for them? Because there's not a large selection around the world, is there, Quickie?
No, I thought it would be Morgan Rogers, to be honest. I thought that deal would get done. I know he met Mikel Arteta even before jetting out to the World Cup, and Arteta had made him a top target, but fair play, Chelsea came in and gazumped them. I'm not sure Arsenal would have paid £117 million anyway, but clearly they have got a hole in the squad. As you say, they've let Trossard go for a relatively modest sum, really, £17 million for a player who I think scored some.
Good evening, you're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Oladipo and Rory Jennings in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Following us from 7 o'clock, Rowan Scott Douglas hosted Transfer Insiders this evening. He has Angelina Kelly alongside him. But now we can get an update from the Commonwealth Games. Watching for talkSPORT is Mr. John Cushion. John.
Yeah, welcome to the Scotstoun Stadium tonight. 9 gold medals available as the athletics gets underway. We've got world champions here, world medalists, new names, new heroes, new stories will be told. Even tonight, we could see England's Kamani Jack take the high jump title. He had the world lead earlier in the season. We've got Georgia Hunter-Bell in the 800 metres round 1, and England's Sam Bennett could grab a medal in the 110 metre hurdles. Elsewhere on day 4 at Glasgow, 6 home nation medals in the gymnastics. England's flyweight Ruby White has just won in the boxing. She's into the quarterfinals. 5 more home nation boxers in action tonight. And Adam Ramsey-Peaty, Duncan Scott headlining the swimming at Tollcross. We are live in Glasgow with Natalie Sawyer and Greg Rutherford on talkSPORT 2 from 7. And you could be here. There are tickets at glasgow2026.com.
Cheers, John. Thank you very much. All right, it's now time for this. Right, Billy is in the studio. It's the end of show quiz. This is going to be very competitive because we just get competitive.
Because I'm going to beat you.
See that there? See that start there? I was going to just play this.
No.
All right, okay. All right, no. Fine.
We play to win.
All right.
Evening, lads.
You're my enemy.
I've actually got some good news for you.
Oh, yeah?
You're working together on this one, lads.
Oh, really? That's good news for you. That's good news for you. You won't lose now.
He's going to do that. See, he's going to do that. All right, go on, let's go.
We were discussing Vinicius earlier.
Yep.
Man who once came second in the Ballon d'Or. I want you to name the last 12 players who aren't Ronaldo or Messi to have won the Ballon d'Or.
The last
easy
12.
Easy.
12.
Okay, come on,
let's
Eddie.
go. Rodri, Modric.
Modric, yeah.
Yeah, Kaká, Shevchenko.
Yep.
Owen would be in there. Ronaldo, Zidane, Cannavaro. Come on, help me,
Mate,
then.
you're not letting me think. Right, do it by dates. Do it by years.
George Weah.
Wait, it's too far back, George Weah.
You need 5 more.
We're going for the last 12.
5 more.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be that far back. Ruud Gullit. It's not that far back, is it?
Do you want to put him in?
Yeah.
It's not Ruud Gullit.
No.
It's not that far back, surely.
Remember, Messi and Ronaldo won so many, though.
It can't be Ruud Gullit, can it?
Rivaldo, Ronaldinho.
Do you want to put these?
Yeah,
Rivaldo 99, so that's in.
Definitely.
Rivaldo, definitely.
You're not marking.
Ronaldinho 2005, definitely.
Rivaldo, no.
What?
Ronaldinho 2005, yes.
Okay, so it's beyond that. It's more recent than that.
You've got 4 to get. Zidane wasn't one, by the way.
Zidane, no.
We have said Ronaldo, the R9 Ronaldo. Haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so just think of the years. So Bill said there that Ruud Gullit was too far back. So go more recent. Just do it by years. It's easy. You don't need to.
It's not easy.
Mate, you set off like a lunatic.
Oh, go on then. You're talking Dembele.
Correct.
Come on, help me. I've got like 9 of them.
Ask me a year and I'll tell you.
No, it's not about a year. Just say the names. We haven't got the time. Say the names.
You got 3 to get.
No, but you're just saying
stop
names.
talking.
It'd be
Just
like
say
me
it.
going, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. It's way too.
He's trying to help himself.
You got 2 minutes, lads.
You got 2 minutes. Just relax. Right. Ask me a year.
Why am I asking you? I don't know
Just
what
think
years
of the
we've
year.
not got.
Exactly, because we haven't done it with any structure, so we don't know where we are. You've just set off like a lunatic saying
Rory,
names.
just admit you don't know this game.
It's because you
You're
haven't set up any
I thought
structure.
you know football.
You should have done the years.
Like I'm a boxing guy and a football guy. Football's your only sport, and you don't even know the answer to this. This
I
is
don't know. I
embarrassing.
don't know what you said. I don't know what.
Do you want to know the years
answered.
that you've got?
Yeah. No. What years have we not got?
I'll tell you that if you're still struggling in a minute.
Okay.
You've got 25, 24, 18, and it goes all the way back to 7, 6, 5, 4, and then you've got 2 and 1 as well. So those are the ones you have got.
Okay, 2003 then.
Michael Owen.
You already said Owen. 01.
Okay, 03. Who won the Champions League in
Paolo Nedved.
Yes. That's
yes,
huge.
Ade. Yes, Ade.
That's huge.
You've got 2 to get. You've got a minute and a half.
It's such a good game, by the way. I love this game.
If you're struggling in 30 seconds.
So what's the earliest year that we went to? What's the earliest year?
So far, the earliest you've done is Owen in 2001.
Okay, so who won it in 2000? Who won the Euros in 2000? France. It would be a Frenchman. It wasn't Zidane.
No, it wasn't a Frenchman.
Okay.
No French player.
Who won the Champions League in 2000? It will always be World Cup or Euros or Champions League. 2000 Ballon d'Or winner would have been.
Do you want to know the years that you are missing?
Yeah.
So you are missing 2000. That's last on the list, and you still need 2022.
What? 2022.
2020.
We said Modric, didn't we?
Modric.
2018. Rodri 2024.
Dembele.
I said Dembele.
2025. So I think Messi won one in 23. So you just need the one in between there.
Blow my mind.
Oh my god. 2023 Ballon d'Or winner.
2022.
2022 Ballon. Oh wait. Well, didn't Messi win it? World Cup.
No, he said no Messi or Ronaldo.
No, but who won it in 2022? I thought that's when they gave it. They gave like the.
No, because the World Cup came after.
Oh yeah, it came after. Who won it that year? So 2021. Who did what in 2021? Man City. It was Man City's year.
No, but we.
It should have been Haaland.
Got about a minute.
It should have been Haaland.
Should have been Haaland. It wasn't Van Dijk because that.
Who was playing at Real?
This music makes us sound really dumb as well.
No, you do. You did it with no structure.
I got 10. I asked you for some input and you couldn't do it. He's giving you the year. You wanted the year he's giving it to you and you still can't do it.
Do you want some nationalities?
Oh, this is embarrassing. Go on.
Yeah.
2022. I think this will give it away. French. 2000. This will give it away.
Oh, Benzema.
Okay.
Benzema.
One more.
Benzema.
Go on.
2000. I think you'll get it when I say this. Portuguese.
Figo.
Correct.
Wake up, Addy. Figo.
So embarrassing that.
You worked as it was quite aggressive, but you worked as a team quite well, lads.
I don't think we did. I think we clearly.
You know what it is?
We'd be getting divorced.
What I wanted to prove was that my football knowledge supersedes his, so I just screamed as many as possible.
Screamed as many names. It's like, wait.
He had to give you the countries for you to get it. Are you not embarrassed?
He had to give you the countries. You still didn't get it.
I knew it, but they told me in my ear, stop giving all the answers, let Rory answer. I was like, okay, if I've got to let Rory answer, I've got to let Rory. All right, you've been listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Oladipo and Rory Jennings. We're back tomorrow from 4 o'clock. Next up, it is Ryan Scott Douglas and Angelina Kelly with the Transfer Insiders. And over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear live coverage of the Commonwealth Games. We'll see you tomorrow.
I've read this a couple of times now. I can't help but think when he comes up with lines about people criticising the refereeing decisions and puts lines in his quotes such as "I'm sorry you missed it all," I can't help but think there's a little dig towards the head of UEFA there, Alexander Seferin.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, Seferin decided to stay away from the World Cup final, which was quite unprecedented. FIFA were briefing actually that was a pre-planned decision, but the message coming out of UEFA very much was that it was a protest by their president. Actually, I picked out a couple of screenshots, and he does talk about some of the refereeing decisions and says it's curious the same countries employing these practices are the ones criticising. He's talking about the decision to overturn Flo Balogun's red card, which for me was probably the most shameful moment of this World